Top five, top five, top five.
Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Ranked Top 5 Lists of Stuff That Don't Matter. Or how about we do a different intro today, or on top of it rather, an addition to the intro like this. Hey everyone, I'm Tung.
I'm Laura.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Brad.
And this is Disney Dummies! Wait a second, Disney
What?
Dummies and Ranked? How could we combine it all into one thing? I'll tell you how.
We do what we want.
Because we have the dummies in the house today. And let's be honest, I produce and edit all of these. I can do what I want. So today's episode of Ranked/Disney Dummies is, oh God, it's such a long time in the making. It feels like, 2.5 years, close to 3 years now of watching Disney movies. For those of you who don't know, Disney Dummies, the show where the dummies watch every single Disney feature film animated movie in chronological order from Snow White all the way to the present. And we were saving today's episode until we caught up on all the Disney movies, and we did. So here we are, ready to also rank them. And I was like, you know what, we might as well put it on the Ranked feed. We might as well put it on the Disney Dummies feed, get the most out of this, what I would call an event episode. Yeah, it is. I mean,
If ever there was one.
we only use that term in Disney Dummies, but today it's all about the crossover.
We only used it on the last 3 episodes.
No, that's not true. Okay.
Have you been with us on Disney Dummies?
I mean, let's not spoil who's on the cast there, stranger. But you already know. People already know. I'll introduce the first guest. Has always really been a Disney dummy at heart. Only recently, because I just edited this episode. I think it was only a few episodes ago. I think it was the Moana episode. We're like, you know what? This person is finally getting the badge of honor of being an actual Disney dummy, but can only appear on some episodes. I'm talking about Brad.
Hello.
Bradley Sales, everyone. Hello.
Hello. What a wonderful introduction to be an honorary Disney dummy.
Well, you're full-fledged now, but
I
only
think
can
so.
come sometimes. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
something
about
like
you all
that.
the time.
Like
I'm only allowed on every so often.
It's because the setup is
just not
weird.
a founding member is all.
That's it. And also, then you'd have to share a mic with the person you're going to have to introduce.
Yeah.
And that's a whole thing. I already have to do it with the person to my left. And I can't imagine you guys doing it too. But
It's
hey,
hell.
Yeah.
Brad, how about you introduce that special person?
Sure. Well, sitting to my right here is my very own Disney princess.
Oh,
A little somebody known as Samantha.
hi, Sam.
Samantha Leggett from the Disney Dummies.
I'm a
Fancy
Disney
seeing you here.
princess now. Haven't
Yeah.
you heard?
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
is your Prince Charming beside you? Is that how you guys call each other that?
He's more my Milo Thatch.
Say that.
Why are rim glasses out?
Sorry.
Sam, welcome to the show. How does it feel to be you are always on Disney Dummies, but how does it feel to be on a crossover episode?
Honestly, super exciting. And it's just there's a buzz in the air, we've been waiting. Not that we've been doing dummies for this moment, but also the fact that this moment is finally here. We've talked about it since so early on in dummies, so it feels like such a payoff and such a reward to have watched all the movies
Yep.
and now get to essentially kind of talk about them.
And finally, talk about them freely, and then also be like, okay, now we can actually say what's better.
What is
And-
the best?
Yeah, we always talked about them kind of in this individual little bubble of each episode. So it's going to be really fun to just put them against each other.
Oh yeah, there will be blood, Disney blood. Sam, you got to introduce the last dummy.
Yeah, like you just said, last dummy, we've got the lovely musical loving Laura Gordon.
You didn't say
with us.
princess.
Oh,
Do over.
my Gurgi friend.
Your Disney
You made it
sidekick.
so much worse.
I know.
Here I am.
Laura, welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
How are you feeling right now? Obviously, you're a founding member of Disney Dummies as well.
I feel pride. I feel relief. Yeah. I feel like excitement. And I feel like it's been a really long time since I've been on a ranked episode.
Yeah, I know.
So kind of a long time coming.
Well, your vow to me
Yeah.
was to be an emergency guest. But
Yeah.
today, you're not an emergency guest. We want you on
that
this
didn't mean
episode.
that I never wanted to be a regular guest.
Well,
So.
it's Brad's first time. Let's how about
This is true.
we give him a round of applause, everyone.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Brad's
yes.
here.
Such an honor.
Brad's here. Laura, you'll be on more episodes. We'll see how
Yeah.
we, link up and sync up on our list today.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if I'm free.
I am just so thrilled to do today's episode because, like we've been already saying many times, like, my God, I've just been holding this in. For those of you who don't listen to Disney Dummies, first of all, you should. And I guess unless you don't like Disney movies, but
In which case, what are you doing?
why
here?
are you listening
Yeah,
to
we're gonna see
this?
this one.
But like Laura and I, especially through the last 2.5 to 3 years, when we watch these Disney movies together,
Yeah.
and we don't get to talk about them.
Nope.
We watch them basically in silence, and then we do talk about them individually on Disney Dummies.
Mm-hmm.
But we never really talked about everything as a whole. We've been saving it for the cast up until today.
And making wild assumptions about each other's.
And Sam and Brad, too.
Yeah.
So-
Sounds like a very tense household.
Oh yeah, always. We're always on edge. Don't talk to me about your opinions about anything. How about you two, Sam and Brad? You two have also been watching all of these like on your own and stuff.
Yes.
Obviously, you don't live a
Don't
strict
save
lifestyle.
it for the cast. Yeah, we're not chaste like you guys.
No.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
mean, I
recommend
wasn't
it.
on most of them, so I didn't have this strict shut up, don't talk to me kind of
Yeah.
thing. Except for when I was, then I got yelled at a
Yeah.
lot.
I think Brad is in the most interesting position because you got to just watch it very like purely until you started guesting on.
You don't
Disney
have to
Dummies
write
and
any
stuff.
summaries.
You actually got to just. Yeah. The writing the summaries is very hard. Actually, it got harder somehow as we did
did.
more summaries.
Dude, I feel like at the beginning the summary was a short segment, and then by the end it was like half the episode.
I don't know what happened.
Quarters
Yeah.
of the episode.
yeah.
It's like, oh, you forgot to mention when Maui he
He
flips his
flexed
hair.
his left bicep and then his right.
And it's really important because I noticed it. What? Anyways, yes, today we are again talking about top 5 Disney animated feature films today, and there is a distinction to this. I think we take it for granted in Disney Dummies because we know what this means, but we'll explain it for the people at home. Laura, how about you take that away? What is an animated feature film?
Well, it is a film that was released in a theater, is feature length, which I think is not a short film. So I think most of these are like 50 minutes or longer, and is animated, so not real people.
That's right.
How's that?
Yeah, that's great. I was going to say there are Disney movies that have real people in it, I guess, but it is overall
Not live
yeah.
action.
Yeah. What else? What other ground rules? I was just thinking, we're not counting the direct to DVD sequels that you're seeing.
No
This is-
live
it had to be in a
action,
theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not Pixar.
Nope.
No Pixar stuff's gonna.
Yeah, I
occur
would say
today.
Disney Animation Studios. So that means it was like
Mm-hmm.
animated in either the California Animation Studio or done in their Florida one when
Mm-hmm.
that was up and running. But either way, it was a Disney Animation
Yeah.
Studio feature department.
And so Brad just said it had to be released in theaters, and I think that's correct, with the exception of pandemic releases, because one of those,
yeah,
one or
that's
two
true.
of those were straight to
Theater
Disney
of the
Plus.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Home
you go
theaters.
on the website I've used for the last 3 years is the Disney Fandom, and it literally lists the theatrical animated releases from like episode 1 to 60 as of this recording. So as of this recording, there's 60, and maybe when this comes out, there'll be 61 feature films.
But we're not talking about that one.
But that would it'd be really funny if that's like, oh no, we got to redo the entire list.
It was so good.
It was so good. But I think that list holds up because, like you were saying, the Disney fandom site or whatever you're going off of has Encanto as 60, which Disney advertises as well. And I think our lineup really aligned with what Disney themselves went to say, because I know when Tangled came out, Disney was like, this is our 50th
yeah.
movie. And like that's
right.
what our list is. So I think we're in tandem with them.
Yeah.
Oh, there is something I do want to mention. We did, in classic ranked fashion that we haven't done in a very long time, but I felt it was especially appropriate for today's episode. We wrote predictions in a cup that I'm staring at right now.
I can't
A
wait.
Disney branded cup, no less.
That's true. There's a lot of Disney stuff around us right now.
Sam doesn't mess around.
Sam,
listeners.
Brad, do you want to just rapid fire a few things that are just around us that Disney branded right now?
And on a piggy bank,
There's Simba, there's Bambi, Goofy.
stuffed animals,
Eeyore, Olaf.
Laura's-
art of books.
Yeah, art of work. Laura's wearing a Mickey
There's a
Mouse
lot of art of
ear
around.
thing. Yeah.
Yep. Sam has a surprise outfit for later.
Oh yeah.
I'm so
weird.
warm,
Such a-
guys.
Ears on.
I gotta say,
I
it's
can't
weird
wait.
that Sam's starting to do visual bits on.
I'm getting Sven vibes right now. So
This is still an audio podcast. There doesn't need to be a visual bit.
It's just for you guys.
Okay, thank you. Shall we get started then?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right, just like every episode of Ranked, and for this one and only time on Disney Dummies, we're going to go around 3 times, nominating 3 nominations each, making a master list of 12, and whittling that down to a top 5 Disney animated feature films list.
oh boy.
Oh, I am so ready for this. All right, let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns, I mean, I'm going to come out of the gate. There is no question in my mind that this movie, it is one of the top for me. I mean, I'm sure there's arguments to be had if it belongs on the top 5. We will talk about it. But if you know me at all, you know my love for Mulan is very strong. I love it. I love it so much.
It brings honor to us all.
Yeah, I think with a lot of these nominations, if you want to find the full opinion of what we have about these movies, then please listen to the Disney Dummies episodes where we actually dive in specifically about all the did you knows and who fucks. And all. If you don't listen to Disney Dummies, we talk about who fucks in literally every episode of Disney
And
Dummies.
we will again today, I'm sure.
We might actually have to do
we
it. I
might.
mean, Mulan fucks. We know that.
Yeah.
And Shang. Okay.
Shang was a big hoop fuck.
Oh, yeah. He was huge.
That was a huge reveal.
He's hot, okay?
Yeah, oh, he's super hot.
He made a man out of me. So, yeah, Mulan is just one of those movies that I just can watch over. It was just such a huge part of my childhood. To also see like an Asian heroine, but it wasn't even just that. I just thought it was just a fun ass movie
Yeah.
with, for me, one of the best hype up songs, I'll Make a Man Out of You. Great karaoke song. Great sidekicks.
Great
Mushu,
sidekicks. Yep.
the horse, the
Yeah, they're soldiers too.
yeah, those
Yeah,
guys,
they're
Poe
great. Yeah.
and what
The others.
Ling and those guys. What do you guys think about Mulan? And was this a surprise?
I'm really glad. Okay, obviously not a surprise nomination from you, but also really glad you nominated it because I love that it's in the top 12. I would have wanted in the top 12. I wasn't certain that I'd be able to nominate it, so I was like, Tongue will nominate Mulan.
Yeah, I will say going into today's episode, I don't have a plan. It's purely on feeling. It was a very interesting episode to like cobble together the ones I want to nominate. I literally just went on that Disney fandom website and I was like, this one, and I didn't give it a second thought. I was like, when I enter today's arena for top 5 and ranking stuff, it'll just come to me. And Mulan
that one
came
did.
to
I
me.
think Mulan's a great pick. Mulan was pretty high for me as well. It's
Yeah.
a great movie.
So good.
The adventure, the
I
excitement.
feel like, was it? I may be wrong, but it was an event movie. It
was an event movie. I think a lot of the movies that we're going to nominate are event movies.
Yeah.
Like, again, I've told this story on the actual Mulan episode, but like this movie was so important to me. Like I actually knew all of the words to Mulan, and me and my cousin would reenact the first half of the movie.
You're talking about it like this is past tense. You literally did this last
we just
weekend.
did it. Just like the most niche references that nobody would understand.
Yeah.
Like, now all of China knows you're here. Nobody cares about that line.
Don't
Anyway.
they though?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
I
pretty
really
badass.
care.
It's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
badass.
And great music.
Beads
Beads of
of jade for beauty. Anyways,
It's true. That whole soundtrack slaps. So
Yeah.
it's so,
Yeah.
and also it stays true to your heart because it
True to your
has 98 degrees on it.
Some great comedy, comedic elements built into the script.
Yeah.
Big fan.
I
Yeah.
really like the art style.
Ugh.
It's a great
Now,
style.
Yeah. Fireworks.
I like this first nom is just like how this podcast is gonna go, though.
Oh yeah, it's
right?
true. Yeah,
Like,
the beginning is all of us celebrate. It's gonna be really hard to.
yeah,
whittle
it'll
this
be hard
down.
to rank them.
The
in
last
second
round
half.
is
but
we're
I
gonna be
think
sweating.
this whole nom period is
It's all
a good
happy.
time.
It's all happy.
Yeah, it's a good
okay,
time.
Brad, continue the good vibes. What do you got as your first nomination?
Okay, so I really struggled with what I wanted to put first. I spent a while trying to sort them, and at first it was like, what's the most historically significant for Disney? Like, what's their best technically done movies? What are the biggest milestones for them? But at the end of the day, I felt like I really need to just go with my heart and what I personally felt were their best movies. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do for my first, but I feel like I need to go with the movie that I've seen the most out of every Disney movie by far, and that's a little movie called Emperor's New Groove.
That is
my God.
unexpected.
Oh my
Oh my God, I actually like
Oh,
forgot.
Okay.
I like forgot about it.
this movie.
Well, I didn't forget it.
How dare you?
boy.
It's a great nom. That's
Really,
a great nom.
this is not at all what I thought. Brad is the wild card
Brad,
in this
listen,
conversation.
listen.
I came into this
Brad,
being like, I'm just going to be a wild card.
we don't know what Brad's doing tonight.
So
I had no
That wasn't
idea
on your
this was your
list?
most
Wow, I'm
watched.
shocked.
Oh.
I know.
I have seen this movie. I used to have it in my college on my TV. I used to just literally have it on repeat. I wouldn't even watch it. I'd just be studying and it'd be on the background. I laughed the whole way through.
Yep.
It's a tight hour 18.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's like
my
no
God.
bullshit in this movie. It's super funny. The acting is great. The style is awesome. The animation's awesome. Like, and especially I
good
found
slapstick.
rewatching all the movies with Sam, it kind of put into perspective the ones that I thought I really liked from like childhood. And that was another thing where I was like, should I rank this higher? Because everybody knows I love Sword in the Stone if they listen to the podcast. But I was like, I can't necessarily put it higher because it's like there's so many better movies
Right.
that really resonate with me these days. Yeah, Emperor's New Groove, and it was a dark horse for the studio as well. Went through a lot of changes, and I feel like it's one of their best movies.
Brad,
Coming out of the gate hot.
I've never wanted to marry you.
Great first nom.
That is an incredible first nom. This is another one of those movies that I also knew all of the words to as
Yes,
well. Just
100%.
like it is.
I
just,
quote it all the time.
Yeah,
and I've seen it once.
you've seen it
Lord,
twice.
that's
You've seen it
insane.
twice.
But one time I fell asleep.
Yeah.
my God.
We'll get to that. Later. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Brutal.
There's so much to say about Emperor's New Groove. It is
really
so
is.
good.
It's
It's
great.
so
It's
good.
And it's great because the humor is so, it just holds up.
Yeah.
Like it's
It
just so
does.
funny. And it doesn't rely on a lot of what would say like the now humor of today. You know what I mean? Like they're not
Yeah.
trying to put
They're
like
not
a,
flossing.
they're not flossing. They're not doing a TikTok. They're not doing like whatever, like internet meme that has to, that's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
funny for like 2022 or whatever like that. This, how old's that movie now?
It's 2000, so 22 years
It
old.
was like
yeah.
2000, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Still
I mean,
funny.
yeah, there's like visual gags. Like I still remember after a few watches seeing when he dumps like the poison into the plant behind
Yeah.
Cusco, and then it turns into the llama after, and it's just like in the background. You barely even notice it, but yeah, that movie is so well done.
I saw an
So
Emperor's
well
New
done.
Groove meme on Twitter today.
Yes.
About poison. Cusco's poison.
And all-
Yeah.
Poison
Well, I
Girls.
did. I have a sculpture in my office right now that I did of Kronk back in. I should have brought it out.
Kronk's not on the table.
That's how much I love this movie
Kronk
that I
is so good.
sculpted
Kronk should be
Kronk.
on the
in
table.
Everyone's good in
college.
this movie.
Yeah.
Yzma's like the best.
Yeah,
Anyways.
anyway, I could go on and
we'll
on.
go on, but great nomination. Sam, what do you
All
have?
right.
First nomination.
I'm not going to shock anyone with this one, and I just need to get it off my chest and out there immediately and take this wool off that I've been covering my shirt for listeners. I'm going The Lion King. That's the movie I've definitely seen the most.
Yeah.
Hands down. I only put one of my Simba stuffed animals on the table, but I've got
Yeah,
three.
she's got
Have you
a
got the
lot.
magnetic nose one?
No. But
Oh.
I do have a Nala somewhere kicking around. I've got the DVD, I've got the Blu-ray, I've got the 3D DVD.
yeah.
This movie meant a lot to me. I loved it. I've got the VHS too, obviously. Anyways, I just think it's a masterpiece, start to finish. I like the Broadway musical. I love it. Don't really know what else to say.
Lion King Kite Tales.
Oh my god, Kite Tales at Disneyland.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
But the Disney Lion King one was the best
that was so
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, great sidekicks.
Great
And
cast.
It's an
Great
epic.
cast.
It's an epic of a movie.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
an epic. It's an epic. It's a
an
classic,
operatic
and
epic.
I really can't say more about
Another event movie, if
Yeah.
you will.
Oh,
right?
We had a few in a row back
100%.
there, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yep.
it. Yeah, I saw this, and I mean, this is like I would have been young in theaters when it came out, like
94.
94. So I was 5, and I went to the theater 3 times.
Oh,
Oh, man.
by yourself, 2 of them.
Yeah, my parents were like, "Oh, this kid."
Just drop her off.
She just
It's
cries
fine.
the whole time.
Get her some popcorn.
Yeah, so I had to do Lion King.
Lion King's so good.
It's like a little bit of a weight off the shoulders to get some of the heavy hitters out early.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
gotta
that's
take
I
care of
couldn't
that.
hold on to this one.
well, especially because you're wearing a warm sweater and stuff.
I
like
was wearing it.
Listeners,
yeah.
she's wearing a Hakuna Matata shirt that has young Simba along with
Them
Pumbaa
walking
and
across the
Timon.
log.
Yeah.
You know.
I actually expect Sam's like next nomination. She does like tearaway pants.
It's a mermaid tail. Yeah.
Great nomination, Sam. Laura, first nomination. Are you gonna go with the slam dunk, or are you gonna surprise
What's the
us?
slam dunk tongue?
I mean, I know your favorite Disney film, but I'm not sure if you'll start with it. Laura wrote paragraphs.
There's a tail.
Laura doesn't prepare for a lot of stuff, but she wrote paragraphs. I'm looking at her right now.
There's a tale as old as time that lives within all of us, set within a little town, a quiet village that is quite unlike any that came before, where you can go from being a prisoner to a guest in the blink of an eye, because it's always possible that there's something there that wasn't there before. In the name of Angela Lansbury and all else that is holy, my first nomination is from the Disney Renaissance, 1991's Beauty and the Beast.
Haven't seen it.
Never heard of it. Hey,
Crowd goes wild.
That is.
Yeah, I mean, that I knew
I
that one was
counted
going to
on
be
you
up there,
to
yeah.
pitch that.
Yeah.
You guys knew I was going to do that? Get out of here.
Oh my god! No
Laura
way.
saying Beauty and the Beast is as obvious as me saying Mulan. I think. Like it's just like
Absolutely correct.
it's so synonymous with Laura. Like that's one of the first thing I ever learned about her was how much she loves Beauty and the Beast.
She can walk and read at the same time. What's that to love? Yeah.
What a good movie.
Great songs too.
She's a heroine for our time and for all time.
And she's like the oldest Disney princess at like 22 or something.
I don't know.
Dude, first
Yeah,
movie
not
I ever
sure.
saw in theaters.
Aw.
Real? Oh yeah, I probably knew
And
that.
one of the best transformation sequences that all others
Oh my
have ripped off
gosh.
since.
Yeah.
yeah, although
The sparkles.
Yeah.
good sequence. I just think
music.
he's so ugly at the end.
Listen,
He's such an ugly
he's
prince.
beautiful in a
Great
different
sequence,
way.
It's a
though.
very like sculpted
Yeah,
design.
it's his lips that
Yeah.
bother me.
Yeah.
And then they
But
do the-
his eyes, tongue, his eyes.
Well, then they do the live action. I'm like, here's their chance to fix this, and he's still ugly.
It's mostly the hair. Good looking man.
Wait, is
Bad
it Dan
hair and
Stevens
makeup.
at the end?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
calling Dan Stevens ugly?
In that movie, he is.
No, his hair and makeup are bad.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not talking about the live action, but Emma Watson literally has a line that's like, "I like you better when you're hairy"
Yeah.
or whatever at the
Yeah,
end.
Don't
It's
we
like,
all?
beard or
shut
some
up.
shit.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast, fantastic nomination.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
it's an amazing movie.
Thanks,
Favorite
everyone.
song?
I came
Really
up with
good.
it myself.
Favorite
No,
song?
we're not getting into
We're not
that right
doing-
No,
now.
we're not
Whoa,
doing
tongue,
that.
what are you
We're not
doing?
doing
Save it
this.
for the cast.
Well, you need
Listeners,
the cast will eventually.
Yeah,
do it.
stay tuned for our top 5 Disney songs podcast.
We are
coming-
going to do
coming
that, but
to,
I think we're going to have
ears near
to
you.
in the when we whittle things down, we'll have to really get into it and probably have to
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
the songs a little
we
bit.
might have to talk about the songs today.
Yeah.
But that's not right now.
Not right now.
That,
Not right now.
the sequence where the wolves are chasing him, I remember that giving me nightmares as a
Oh
kid.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are scary ass
Yeah.
wolves.
They are.
Yeah.
They are, yeah.
Every time you're like, is he going to make it?
Yeah.
Is he gonna, he
Terrifying.
does, but it gets you on the edge of your seat.
Just
tongue.
out of the West Wing.
Yeah, let's go into round 2. Now, I'm very curious because this first round was very heart motivated. And I think that is what a lot of these nominations are going to be. And I think that's what it should be, right? Like, ultimately, I think on Disney Dummies, we looked at things on a passion level, but also analytical, trying to talk about the animation style and the history of the movie and its historical importance to Disney.
And how it holds up.
And all these things, but I feel as though when we start ranking them, the only thing that's really true is do we really love these movies? That's what I want to put on this list. Is
Yeah.
what does this table love? So my question to you guys before I do my next nomination is do you think rewatching these 60 films actually changed your opinion that much?
I think it did, yeah.
Of the top 5 that you're going to nominate? Or
mostly because I've seen so many of these so many times
Yeah.
and a lot of them I hadn't seen in a long time, especially the older ones, that it's not like I don't think they're good, but I'm just like, I don't really need to watch that one again now. Like
Yeah.
I'm good. Whereas like I saw other ones where I was like, oh, I forgot how good this one is, and I would watch it again for sure. And that's kind of like how I first separated the list. It's like, would I watch this again right now? And if I did, then it went in like the top half, bottom half kind of thing, and I whittled it down from there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sam, Laura?
I don't know that it really changed if we had done this before the 60 versus now. I think maybe it gives me a little more clarity. I think my next pick is my only like surefire. I don't know what's going to happen third round.
Yeah, I don't either.
So, but that's what I mean. I'm like banking on you guys, and I feel like we're all kind of in similar like boats.
Yeah.
So as much as it helped, I'm also like, I know the ones I loved, but I also come from a place where I did rewatch a lot of them a lot. So
Yeah.
like I know them all. Like there was a few I didn't know very well. So for those, obviously, like it helps to know them. But
Yeah.
for the most part, like I know them.
There was definitely surprises along the way when we were watching
Yeah.
Disney movies, because there was some that Laura and I have never seen, or like Sam's never like was that kind of situation, or I grew to appreciate some movies more, or maybe grew to hate some movies a little bit more.
Yeah,
But like
true.
I feel like a lot of the Renaissance movies are so like evergreen, and it's
The ones
hard
you've
to go
watched a
wrong.
lot, you're like, I know I've watched this a lot
Yeah.
for a reason.
Yeah.
But that almost worked
Exactly.
against some of the movies where I was like, except for Emperor's New Groove. But I've seen some of them so many times that I'm just like, I've
Yeah.
seen it enough. I don't really, so it's
Yeah.
like make way for other movies kind of
Make
thing.
way.
Tongue, what's your next round? Start it. Get away. Stop.
Laura
I
has
think
a-
for me, it did change the list. I think if we hadn't rewatched, I probably would have nominated like exclusively more recent ones. But going back, it gave me more of an appreciation for like the older ones that are actually good. And I also
Like the
think
Rescuers? I
older
don't
than
even
that,
feel
Sam.
like I need
older
to say
than that.
I'm sorry.
And the other thing was that I think I felt a lot more decisive. Like if you asked me before we went through this whole process, like what are the good older ones, I wouldn't have been able to say. But now as we're watching them, we're like, oh, that one like wasn't that great. Whereas like
Yep.
certain ones were like, oh, that was actually like really well done and held up super well.
Totally.
So I think I've got more older films on my radar than I might have if we were just doing this without the rewatches.
Oh, yeah. I'll be curious to see if we get any older films on here. I don't know if I will. Let me give you my next nomination,
Okay.
which is
Should we make way for it?
well, no. Even though I want to, I feel like that.
Somebody better make way.
Someone better make
Somebody
way.
better fucking make way.
Do I make way? No, I won't make way because I feel like that'll come eventually.
Do we have to do?
But I do think that, thank you, Sam, for taking Lion King. Another one that is just so important to my world. It gave me a whole new world, in fact, to think about. I love riding on magic carpets. I love anytime I get to visit Agrabah, and one of the best Disney sidekicks of all time with Genie. I am talking about Aladdin as my next
Yay.
Amazing pick.
It is just so good, and that's the thing that we're just saying is just like, well, I have seen Aladdin a million times, and do I want to nominate it? Because it's like, yeah, of course, it's Aladdin. It's a very obvious pick, but like also it's Aladdin.
Yeah, and there's a reason it's an
Yeah.
obvious
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah. Like it is such a good blend of being a romance film, but also it is funny.
Yeah.
Like it is very, very funny. Like a Boo, Genie, of course, Iago, like Jafar's even funny.
Yeah.
The whole cast is just on fire, and it is just an adventure movie, right? Like you
Yeah.
get to see this young scrappy dude become try to be
This
Prince.
little street rat.
Yeah, little street rat. Try to be Prince
I don't buy
Ali.
that.
I don't buy that.
I think
Arguably one of the best reprises. of all time.
Top 5 reprises.
Yeah.
That's actually really
that is a
I
good one.
want
Yeah.
adventure. It's fine.
I do think Aladdin's a good one where every time I think of it, I'm like, am I sick of Aladdin? And then I watch it and I'm like, no, it's so
No.
good. Like
so good.
I can't
It's
get
always
sick of
one jump
Aladdin.
ahead.
One jump. And he's such a cool hero too. Like you
Yeah.
really
So
root
good.
And
for.
also Steve from Full
Yeah.
House.
And Return of Jafar was good too.
Well, we're not talking.
I know. I'm just saying. It's got. It's
Don't
got
you mean-
I'm
legs.
telling you,
It's got
Disney
legs.
Homies.
And that's the
Disney
strength of the
Homies, our next
characters.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the strength
Yeah.
of the characters.
They had to bring back Jafar. Your beard is so twisted. Oh no! I just imagine Sam doing that to Brad's beard.
Oh, no.
But you don't have a twisty
No,
beard.
his beard isn't twisty.
I mean, if
yet.
you really try.
Yes, we'll talk more about Aladdin later. But Brad, what do you have as
Yeah.
your second nomination?
So excited when Brad goes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like I got to do another one from my heart, you know? It's one that really struck a chord with me when I guess I was more in like the high school range, but it was one of the movies that I saw and I was just like, it got me wanting to do animation at the time. This and Toy Story, which I know we're not talking about Disney, but I was just, or Pixar, I mean.
yeah.
But yeah, this movie, when I saw it, I was just like, oh, maybe I should like get into animation. And I was like, you know, maybe there's strangers like me there. And that little movie, you might have heard of it. It was called Tarzan.
Yay!
Bradley.
Brad Tarzan? I honestly thought that was going to be your first pick. Honestly,
On my list, it was, but I switched it with Emperor's New Groove.
of course.
I love Tarzan. It's such a beautiful movie. Glenn Keane, like, I don't know, what can you say about Glenn Keane?
Who's Glenn Keane?
and
For the
Phil
people who don't
Collins.
know, because some people haven't listened to Disney Dummies before who are listening to this now.
Glenn Keane. So there was the 9 Old Men that did the old Disney movies like Snow White and all of those. And then there was the group that came in under the 9 Old Men and learned from them. And one of those people was Glenn Keane, who came from CalArts, along with people like Tim Burton and Brad Bird. You might have heard of them.
Yeah.
They did some pretty good movies as well.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible movies.
So
even.
yeah, that year at CalArts was like freakishly crazy. But Glenn Keane is an amazing animator. He animated The Beast. He animated Tarzan. I mean, the list could go on. He directed Tangled. I forget where he's at now. I think, yeah, he's doing a bunch of stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
talented. One of the people that I look up to the most for animation, like an animation god. But yeah, Tarzan, one of the reasons why I got into animation in general, I did like a head rotation where I like animated Tarzan's head like a bust, like spinning with all the dreadlocks and stuff. It was very challenging, but I was like right at that age. It had that skater vibe to it where he's
Yeah.
like skating through the vines.
Oh
I'm like,
my
yeah,
God.
this is so cool.
To Phil Collins.
Yeah. Oh, and the Phil Collins.
yeah,
I mean,
Phil
you guys were talking
Collins.
about songs, and I was just like biting my tongue. So I'm like, fucking Phil Collins. It's so
Went
good.
so hard
Nobody
on
said
that
he had to go
movie.
that hard,
No,
but he
didn't
went
have
that
to do
hard.
that. He didn't have to do
Yeah.
it, and he
And
did.
thank you.
And then
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
They try to bring him back for another movie, which I'm sure is not going to be on this. But they failed at that one.
Yeah.
But Tarzan, oh my God. And you know what's interesting, Brad, is that you were on, I think that was your first episode on Disney
think
Dummies
so, yeah.
with Tarzan, which was perfect because you had so much good things to say about that. But it was interesting about Tarzan. I was watching all the other movies that came after it, and I was like, wow, it's so crazy how the animation of Tarzan is just so much better than even some of the new stuff that is out today. Him swinging on vines and skateboarding and surfing through the forest is mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's animated Spider-Man is what's happening on screen.
Yeah, I mean, they'd had like 3D, like 2D, 3D in other movies before that. Like Great Mouse Detective was one of the first with like 3D in it.
clock.
But this one, I don't know, watching behind the scenes, it's like they did the vines in 3D and printed it out, and then he frame by frame animated Tarzan skating down the vines, and it's pretty nuts. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like that was their first big push to do like, I mean, all of their movies after are obviously well animated, but I feel like that was one of their last big pushes to do like crazy full animation. Because then you get into stuff like Emperor's New Groove, which I also think is very well animated, but it's a very different style of animation. It's far more limited. And and then you get to later
Careful.
one. Never mind.
Careful.
I'm not going to say that. But anyway, I love Tarzan. I think I could watch that movie over and over. Not as much as Emperor's New Groove, but over and over. This list is just basically the movies that I could watch over and over.
Well, what's your, do you have a Tarzan impression that you want to give?
Oh my gosh.
I feel like mine comes out more George of the Jungle.
George. Yeah. What's that line in Tarzan that we quoted all the time?
I always like the "Cow, Clayton,
Clayton, yeah.
Clayton."
Oh, it's. Oh, I see.
Oh, I thank you. Yes, okay, thank you. I'm not going crazy. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
no.
So many great lines.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
That the Jaguar, is that what it?
Oh, we can't get into that. We can't
Oh,
get into
so
that
well
argument.
done.
Is it Jaguar? Is it a Panther? Is it...
No, I-
Okay, but yes, he's
I think
scary as
yeah,
fuck.
that Jaguar is so
Yeah, who animated the Jaguar or the jungle
I don't
cat?
remember
I'm not
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I can't tell you that there was like a team that just did the spots for it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Could you imagine that being your job for like 3 years?
Not the
just
best.
animating
No.
spots.
Nope. No, thank you.
God damn.
All right,
Anyway,
Sam.
amazing movie.
What do you have?
Okay, so my next nom is the only other one I knew I had to because this is the only one I was like, I don't think anyone else will nom it, so I have to because it's close to my heart as well. So I don't think I'll be like helping anyone out with this one like you guys have been. Though, Brad did just say its name. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect it to come up before I talk about it. And it is, I know, it's a bit of a dark horse.
I think
Yeah, it's The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I know. I had to. I honestly, looking back through all the movies and everything, that movie still excites me. I am always in the mood to put it on. I really like the British moody atmosphere that it puts
The
out.
rainy
Sherlock
London.
Holmes thing.
It's also
Yeah.
a tight, I don't know the actual runtime, but it's like a short
just quick.
movie. It's easy one to put on. Ratigan, I think, is one of the greatest
Ratigan,
villains.
Ratigan. It is a good
He's
song.
scary as fuck. Glenn Keane, Ratigan.
That's why I didn't like the
Ratigan.
movie. It was because
Yeah,
so
Ratigan's scary, but I think it's so moody and it's so different. And it's also directed by, we haven't really talked about this, but Ron and John, who did Aladdin and Dolittle, movies, we'll talk
Many
about
others,
them all,
yeah.
I'm sure, whatever. But anyways, they are the classic gem directors, and I feel like nobody ever talks about Great Mouse Detective in the same vein as their other films.
Yeah.
So, but it's still good. And I think it just kind of comes out of nowhere. I think it kind of got missed. I think it got a lot of following later in life after it really didn't maybe do that good on its initial release. And I think there's a reason for that, because I think everyone came around to it and was like, oh, this movie actually rules. And I don't think people, I know a few friends who really love it, but I think that it's actually a real gem of the whole Disney experience, and everyone should watch it because it's really fun. It's fun. It's a fun adventure.
I remember when we did that podcast thinking Sam's totally going to nominate this.
Yeah, right.
And I forgot until now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a to my heart movie. I watched this a lot as a kid. I really like the darker. Not that this will come up because it's not in this category, but same with This Is Halloween one, Nightmare Before Christmas.
yeah.
and
Oh,
stuff.
yes,
I like the darker stuff. So not that this is the darker
Different
stuff.
kind of dark.
This was not the dark film that I thought you were going to.
This is not a dark film,
Yeah.
but it has dark moments.
Sure.
When you first see Gidget the Bat, it's pretty scary. Ratigan at the end of this movie is horrifying.
Yeah.
So it definitely has moments that I think would scare children, which I loved.
Did.
And did. And I love that. And I love everything about this movie. I couldn't
Sherlock
let
Holmes,
it go.
But
They're nice.
And his dog Toby.
yeah.
And Olivia Flavisham.
And Dr. Watson.
And Basil.
Basil of Baker
Basil.
Street.
Yeah, it's very
I'm definitely glad you nominated it, 'cause going down the list, I was like, this is a really good, and it's an older one, which I know you were saying you didn't know if we would get any on here.
I'm happy we
and
got
I'm
one.
happy
It
we
is
got
funny
at
thinking,
least
though, that,
one older one. I mean, it's not
Was
older.
it?
This is the
80
oldest one on
88?
my list.
Or 87?
It's not even that
Because
old.
it's not that old.
It's not that old,
but in my
Yeah.
mind,
This is not the old
older.
one, old quote unquote, that one that Sam was going to do. I thought she was going to do.
Oh, interesting.
I'll save it for later.
Save
but
it.
There is definitely one that I thought you were going to say.
Save it.
No.
Is it
Laura.
my turn? Okay, we're more than half done, and I'm getting so nervous.
Oh, yeah, I'm already-
about what might not get nominated. Okay, this will come as a surprise to anyone. In 1920, The Power of Love, a film now lost to time, was allegedly the first 3D film screened to a commercial audience using a system developed by Robert F. Elder. From 1952 to 55, we saw the first boom in 3D films, which then slumped before a brief resurgence in the late 70s to mid-80s. In the early 2000s, James Cameron's Titanic documentary, Ghosts of the Abyss, laid the groundwork for future technologies that we would see put to use in such noted 3D films as Polar Express, Coraline, and Avatar. But it wasn't until 2010 that 46,000 lanterns were released into the sky and the medium reached its full potential. For my second nomination from the revival era, I give you Tangled.
Oh,
Thank fucking
I'm so
God.
glad you
Thank
did
God.
Tangled.
Thank God. Another
Glenn Keane movie.
Guys, that's 3 Glenn Keanes. Didn't Glenn Keane also do Aladdin? He's Aladdin.
Yeah, he.
So
and
that was a
Aladdin.
full round of Glen Keane
All Glen
movies.
Keane.
Glen
That was all Glen
Keane.
Keane.
Yeah.
Well, and it started with Beauty and the Beast too, and so five in a
Right.
row. 5 in a row.
Tangled.
Oh, yeah.
Tangled.
Oh man, I didn't know where you were going with that. but,
Nobody did. That's why it was so much fun.
it's a very Leslie Cherapy thing that you just.
Oh yes, I should also
I
mention
feel like
that
we're
my,
all looking at each other, being like, "What?"
my
the
introductions today are inspired by the mayor of the Podcavern himself,
Yeah.
Leslie Cherapy.
Right, right. Tangled. You want to talk more about that, Laura? What
I think I've said enough for
you
now.
said enough? Yeah, I'm very happy you nominated this
Yeah.
one because obviously I know how important this one is for you. It's definitely one of your favorites ever.
7 a.m. the usual.
Until you say one of her
lineup.
favorites shouldn't be one of your both.
Our
I do
favorite.
love
But it was
One of
like
your
it was
favorites.
individually like for many years before I ever met Tung.
Yeah.
I would listen to I would like put on the song.
Should I
in the
talk about
morning.
when I worked at Superstore? That's an
You
inside
don't
joke
do
to
that.
Disney
You don't
Dummies.
do that enough. Yeah.
No, that's on Disney Dummies. I used to watch Tangled all the time. For the people who don't know, at Superstore in the electronics section, we played this movie probably 20 times a day. So yeah, I know Tangled
And for the
quite well.
listeners who don't listen to Disney Dummies, Tung and Laura basically fell in love to this.
Yeah,
cute.
basically. But
Very
not to the
cute.
song
Yeah.
you think it was.
I have a
The
dream.
Mother Gothel song.
Snuggly duckling. Yeah. We love the snuggly duckling.
Let your power grow.
Mother.
So many good songs in this movie.
Yeah, Tangled's so good. I mean, yeah, you guys talk about it. What do you guys like about Tangled?
Visually, like, I don't even know if I can describe it right, but like the texture, like the tactile visual feel of the film, I just love so much. And I feel like it hit above its weight class for the time, and then they didn't really get back to that again until like a few movies later, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah, such a well done movie. Yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
pretty high on my list as well, so I'm glad you nominated it.
Yeah, a good amount of silliness in it.
Yeah.
It is.
We love
yeah.
a silly movie.
And a great horse. I mean, Disney has
Such
a lot
a
of
good
horses.
horse.
Maximus is
This was a
one of the
big
best
miss on your top
horses.
5
I
horse
know,
list.
we-
Big miss.
Don't
on the
remind
horse
me.
list.
Top
my
5
God.
Disney horses?
It was just top
It was
5
just
horses.
top
We
five
never
horses.
top
I know,
5
but you
horses.
could do
horses.
top
Yeah.
5. And-
Disney horses.
It's not
There's
too late.
There's a
My
couple
God,
good ones.
there's
Yeah,
so
there's a few
many
good
good
ones.
Mulan's horse.
Philippe.
Yeah, that's from what was that? What's the?
Beauty and the Beast. Anyways.
Anyways,
Yeah,
doesn't-
anyways,
we're not talking about
anyways,
horses.
we're not here for
Very
horses.
very fun characters in Tangled, and it was one of those like that was an event movie. It was like
Yes.
Oh,
number
for sure,
50.
for sure.
Number 50.
Number 50.
Like event movie for us, but also for Disney.
But it was like, was it the first Disney princess movie that happened in a long time too?
Well, it was our like third CG movie, and
Yeah.
they'd
Yeah.
been like Chicken Little
Meet
and
the
then Meet the
Robinsons.
Robinsons.
Yeah.
And then this was just like
Out of
all of
nowhere.
a sudden like 10 million leagues ahead of those
Yeah.
Yeah.
as far as quality goes. And it was like the first fairy tale movie in a while, the first musical in a while.
Yeah.
And it was just like it brought all those classic things kind of back to the forefront.
and like
got the
Mandy
job
Moore
done.
and Zachary Levi, like just they're so perfect.
They
as-
killed
Oh,
those
And you got the
roles.
art
Donna
of right
Murphy.
next to you.
Yeah.
Donna Murphy, everybody.
I was going to
Mother
say,
Gothel.
let's not forget Mother
Yeah.
Gothel because
Yeah.
she fucking slayed.
Yeah,
she
she
fucks.
does.
She fucks. She fucks.
No question. No question.
All right, round 3.
Oh my God,
Final round. I am stressing a little bit,
Yeah, a little
honestly.
bit, a little bit.
Holy, it's like, do I want to nominate something older?
Well, you have to
or
nominate some- oh, older,
newer?
yeah,
Like,
okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard. It's really hard now. I don't know what I'm. Yeah, fuck.
I gotta say, I'm worried.
I'm worried too.
I'm worried.
About my nomination?
No, just in general.
Yeah, in
There's only
general.
4 nominations left.
We only get to pick 4, and I have.
Wait, is Brad worried? I haven't heard you worry.
I'm never worried.
Okay, there's 4 noms left, and I have 2 that I really hope are on here.
Yeah,
so
there's
I
like-
need to like bank on.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I know, and
yeah.
there's like that's where I'm struggling right now. Is there's one that I'm like, this has to be here, or there's the one that I'm like, maybe I like that one more, maybe, but it's hard. There's also I will tell you like a recent struggle with mine is that a lot of the ones in the last few years I haven't seen enough times to really
Yeah.
say that yes, this has to be on this list, even though
They suffer from
right
recency.
now I'm like, they're really good movies. They're really good. They might be a top 5 contender, but I'm scared to nominate them because I've only maybe seen them twice.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Okay, as long as you know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
All right, I want you all to consider the coconut.
Goodness. Thank goodness.
Here's what I found.
All right, everyone, make way for something shiny.
Oh boy.
It's Moana.
I know who you are.
Of Matanui. This was one of the. This is probably, and this is great because I just recently edited this episode
Yep.
for Disney Dummies, so it's
Yep.
very fresh in my mind. This movie. This is a movie that when I first watched it, I thought it was good, but it only ever got better with time. And that's what I feel like a lot of these other movies in like the last, let's say 2 years or so might also end up being, is like the more I sit on it, the more I'll appreciate it. But yeah, the way this is like Lin-Manuel Miranda's first Disney film. And at this table anyways, big fans of Lin and his lyrical stylings and the way he crafts music and the way he really thinks about lyrics, I think is very interesting. And it is actually the shot in the arm that Disney movies needed, because before, like, you could probably just say that a lot of Disney movies and their songs are very, I'm gonna say basic in terms
Formulaic.
in terms of like how they're structured.
Tongue did air quotes around basic.
Yeah, basic. Well, not like they're good songs, but
Yeah,
they're just structurally they are very easy. It's like
Yeah,
an A B,
Yeah.
maybe like a bridge, whatever. But with Lin's stuff, it was like a new world of musical possibilities
Yes.
that got injected in Disney films. On top of that, Moana is such a great heroine in this story. Maui's fun. You got Hey Hey, the stupid chicken. You know what I mean?
Alan
Like,
Tudyk.
this movie has so much going for it. And also, when I think about this movie, I just think about how it makes me want to like sail the ocean, because it's so beautiful in this movie. And
beautiful.
the adventure is awesome and it's epic.
Points for natural hair representation too.
Sure.
Love that. Thanks, Moana.
Sam, Brad, you all, I mean, everyone had a big sigh of relief when you talked
Thank
about
God.
it.
Honestly,
Everyone was just a little bit nervous that no one was going to nominate it,
I was
right?
getting nervous because I only have so many. Like, we only have so many spots to fill, and I have a few left.
Yeah.
And this actually didn't help me, though, because I kind of forgot to put it on my list. So then I was like, fuck. So it didn't help me because I didn't have it on there. Now I'm, like, stressing all over again because obviously this needs to be on the list. And it was like, it was. I don't know how I missed, like, writing it down, but it absolutely has to be on this list. It's a great, like, especially for, like, the recent era film.
Well, when we were talking earlier about like whether or not rewatching them shaped your opinions or changed your opinions, Moana was the one that came to mind for me, because I remember the first time I watched it, I was kind of like, like,
Me
like
too.
a couple of the songs were okay, but I was like, meh, all right, whatever. I never need to watch that again. But then rewatching it, I was just like, oh shit, these songs slap. Like, this is some good
I want to go watch it
fucking
right
shit.
now.
I know, it's, like, it's a very good comfort watch
And
as well.
And it honestly, it went from like one of like the lower movies in the Disney for like in my mind to like right in like the top 10 in my mind kind of thing. Like it shot right up. And we've got the vinyl. Put that on every once in a while.
I don't have it.
Oh, Katie's
I
got
want
that.
it.
Oh, sorry.
Katie has it.
you need it back. You need it back.
I know.
And I might
my
be wrong,
memories.
but I think it was the first Disney princess film where there's no love interest. Like, I know Elsa didn't have Frozen.
Frozen came before me.
Well,
But there was Han.
There is a love interest.
Yeah,
Maybe that
Hans
movie
and,
will come up.
Sven.
I don't know.
It's a great pick.
But,
though, the water
yeah.
is so good.
That's what I
That's what I was going to say. The evolution
Holy
of
shit.
water animation over
Yeah.
the 60 films that we've seen is like, I feel like Moana was the culmination of it.
Away, away.
Away we go.
It's epic, man. You got this giant lava monster that she goes face to face with.
That lava
I
monster.
cried every
I
time.
know who you
I mean, you cry
are.
every time in every Disney movie. Bro.
Yeah, you don't know if you want to hear Sam talk about what moment she cries on.
Yeah.
Every movie, and if she doesn't cry once, it's a bad movie.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
Yo, I stand by that. Especially if you're trying to make me cry and you don't. I'm like, I see you. I see you.
All right, Brad, what do you got? Final nomination for you.
Okay, this nomination's a little bit of left field potentially.
No.
Technically, it hasn't come out yet. No, I'm joking.
What?
Oh my God, Brad! Don't do this to us.
Don't do that.
It's the one 2 years from now. It's like a Wish or something like that.
Yeah.
Wish.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
In
it
the
looks
Disney
beautiful.
map, they're saying it's coming, and I think it's gonna be great. No. Well, let me riddle you guys this.
I love riddles.
Do you like Mysterious Lands? Do you like Intrigue?
Yes.
Do you like Zero to Hero? Do you like?
Yes.
Hold your excitement though, because you don't know where this is going.
Why would you say Zero to Hero if we don't know where it's going, Brad?
To throw you off,
Oh no!
because there could be more than one Zero to Hero movie.
I guess. What do you?
Do you like Hidden Lands? Do you like twists and turns?
Are you
Do
talking
like
about underwater
Betrayal?
plumbing?
I'm talking about Atlantis.
Oh,
Oh, that is not what I thought. But you know what? This is actually on brand for you. So this
I'm
makes sense.
It is.
furious that you
love-
said 0 to hero.
I know. That's why I did it.
How dare you?
You're playing with my heart.
I love Atlantis so much.
That's Milo,
almost
right?
all of my other top movies were picked, and Atlantis was one of the other ones hovering there, along with like one other.
Yeah, sure.
I gotta
know which
go
one that one is.
Atlantis.
I know which one that one was, but
Yeah, the
Treasure
art
Planet?
style of Atlantis. I also just
Say that.
love Atlantis stuff in general. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know,
It is
conspiracy
cool.
things like
It
that.
is cool. It
I
is
love
cool.
Atlantis. Also, the best potential for a live action movie that has
True.
not been live actioned yet by Disney. Like,
Can't
what the
argue with
fuck?
that.
Get on your game, Disney. So
you got to
anyway.
do Mufasa first. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
As if. Fuck right up.
They're already doing
Yeah,
it.
I know. Fuck right up. And they're doing the same bullshit stuff. Oh my god, don't get me started.
Already did.
Yeah.
Atlantis.
Yes, Atlantis is my final pick. I think if you gave me Emperor's New Groove, Tarzan, Atlantis on a desert island, I'd be happy.
I love that.
That is nice.
And Atlantis is a good movie. I think it's a very much an
It's pretty
underdog.
good.
I forgot how
do
good it
think it's an
was,
underdog.
and I remember liking it when it like first came out, and I watched it a few times, like several times with my brother. But then rewatching it again, I was just like, man, I really like this movie.
very on brand for you because it does kind of give heist movie vibes.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
Heist
that's what it
Movie.
is.
in which the like
You
whole
son of a bitch, I made.
The crew is a little slimy and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you know? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And did we say if Milo fucks? I don't remember. Did
Oh, for sure he does. I don't know if we said
Milo
he
does.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think.
Michael
Yeah.
J.
Yeah.
Fox, like,
yeah.
I mean, not.
killing it in
Yeah.
that role.
I remember Sam saying on the podcast how much she had the hots for Milo, but it was the glasses, the scrawny body.
What can
Basically
I
me,
say?
but minus the glasses.
I have a type. My God.
Everyone's picturing what Brad looks like right now. It's like, okay, he looks like Milo, but he also has a Jafar
Yeah.
beard.
More beard,
Not even a
less
Jafar
glasses.
beard. It's got more gray in it, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like wiry and stuff.
It's a big beard.
Yeah,
It's a big beard. It's a big beard.
Sam,
Voluminous.
Dude, okay, this is so...
Yeah.
yeah, this is insanely...
boggling me how.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know. 'Cause
How is
there's
this-
only 2 movies left. And
Yeah.
so do I go with the one that I'm like, oh, I really hope this is on the list? Do I go with the one where I'm like, I hope Laura picks this? Because if Laura doesn't pick it, then it's just not on the list. So, like, do I go with my heart? But then Laura's like, fuck, you took mine.
You go with your heart.
But
I don't think you're going to take
Yeah,
mine.
all of mine
don't
were
think
from the
I'm
heart.
gonna take yours?
Yeah.
Shit. Then that makes it harder on me, dude. I don't even know. Which of these
This
two?
is insane to me.
Okay, okay.
That you
I'm
haven't
down.
known.
Okay, so I'm down to 2 that would complete my. Okay. I'm gonna do it because I will rewatch this movie. I'm gonna base my choice solely on which one I would probably rewatch more.
Sure.
That is 100% what I'm going for over like which whatever I think is better. This that whatever. So I'm gonna pick The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not. This was really hard because there was another movie that I really wanted to make 12, but I
How
think
is this the one you chose? That's crazy. I love it.
that's
That's
crazy.
kinda I don't think it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I don't think it's crazy.
I think
this was my guess for your last
I
pick.
didn't think this was crazy.
I don't think it's crazy.
I'll talk about
Why
it
is
after.
this crazy?
I'll tell you why it's crazy.
I want to know what Tongue thinks.
I'll tell you
I was
after.
thinking.
I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll
This
tell
is
you
the
why
one
it's
that if
crazy
I
after.
was like, so the other one that I had, I was like, if I pick this, will Laura pick The Little Mermaid? And I just don't know that she would. So I had to pick Little Mermaid. And like I said, it's purely on rewatchability because
Yeah.
the other one, I'm really sad because I don't think it's making it now. But Little Mermaid, I think, was a real turning point
Yeah.
in animation. Obviously, it's not like the most perfect, like picturesque animation wise. I think if you were going from an animation standpoint, no, probably not top 5. It's not the most impressive. There's not scenes on this where as an animator I look at it and I'm like, oh my god. But from a musical standpoint,
Yeah.
I love the songs. I love the heart in it. I think there's just something to this movie that is just magical.
I know what it
and
is.
Fun.
It's Prince Eric's recorder.
It's obviously
It'll get
Prince
ya.
Eric's recorder.
It'll get
He's
ya.
a prince. Why
Yeah,
can't he play
yeah.
a better
Yeah.
instrument?
It's another Glen Keane. But yeah, I mean, the animation isn't there yet. They're clearly training up a new crew. It's like early Renaissance. Like
Yeah.
this is
the
before
first, yeah.
it's before all the other ones. It's like the intro to the Renaissance. So it was also an event movie. And
What we marked it as an event.
oh,
movie.
we definitely marked it as an event movie because it definitely came after all the like scratchy animation. Like they were going back to a thing and trying a thing and as much as it's not, again, like on paper the best, I think I want to watch it the most because there's fun characters, there's fun songs, there's fun atmospheres, and it's just a good time. And I love it.
It's
so
a classic. It
it's a
still holds
classic.
up. Like
There's a
you could show it to
reason-
kids these days and they'll
Yeah.
still love it.
There's a reason it's a classic, and I would be like so sad if it wasn't on the list.
Sure,
so I had
sure.
to put it.
You
You
have
know,
to do
yes,
it.
and like Sebastian, Under the Sea, iconic. Ursula, one of the best villains ever.
Ursula's amazing.
Oh, she's Ursula.
Great.
Yeah.
She gets a great song, Poor
Yeah.
Unfortunate Souls. Like,
Yeah.
holy.
Such a good
And she's scary. Ariel, babe. You know,
Yeah.
Prince Eric, he's fine.
Prince Eric, arguably hottest Disney prince.
He's pretty.
He's
arguably hottest Disney prince.
Kind of dumb.
Kind of
dumb. Kind of
He's
can't.
just a
Kinda
pretty
dumb.
boy with a dog.
Okay, but
like,
in his
whatever.
defense, he was under a trance. Okay,
But he was dumb
Not-
before
oh,
that.
Not for the
yeah,
whole movie.
yeah. He's dumb before that. It's okay.
I mean, he has like one hero move in the beginning of the movie, and then he's kind of a stupid.
Okay, but also part
Hot
of your
guy.
world. I don't know. We're not doing that right now, but part of your world. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Part of
don't
your
really
world.
feel like I need to say much else.
Are you trying to say it fucks? Is that what you're trying to say?
Dude, that song fucks harder than any song ever fucked. So
Ever.
Hot take.
I don't know.
Laura, take us into
Yeah.
your last
okay.
story description, whatever you're going to
So
read.
here's the thing. I came in intending to nominate 3 movies, but knew that there was a chance that others might nominate some of them before me. I am going to nominate those 3 movies. However, in doing so, I know that my predictions will now be wrong.
Yeah.
So
My predictions on you are already wrong. I didn't pick
Really?
Tangled.
We don't know each other.
I know.
We just
Really?
recorded 60 episodes
I
of Disney
know,
Channels.
I
We know
know.
nothing.
Dude, they're not off base though.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready? A little part of me wants to do the other movie, but I'm going to stick
No,
with.
stick with
I'm
it.
going
my
to stick
God.
with my instinct. Okay, everyone, close your eyes. Now imagine a wooded forest.
What? This is not.
Close your eyes, Sam. Leaves blowing in the wind. The distant,
Is this Winnie the Pooh?
the distant caw of a bird. The slightest pitter patter of rain. Perhaps the gentle thump of a rabbit's foot.
No.
Imagine growing up in
Really?
close your eyes, Brad. Growing up in this haven, imagine smelling flowers,
This is insane.
running
This is insane.
with your friends, sleeping peacefully beside your loving mother
Are you-
until one day
What?
mother is
There's
gone
no way this will go bad.
and you're on your own. I realize this sounds like an awful experience, and I'm sure it was. But trust me, Walt Disney was a better storyteller than I, and the man made it work. For my third
This
nomination
Oliver and Company.
from the Golden Age,
I know what it is.
1942's Bambi.
This is a fucking bonkers thing. Okay.
Welcome.
Out of left field. And you
Bambi's
got
on the
Bambi
table
next
right
to you.
now.
Also,
A
how
stuffed
much did I
Bambi.
talk about Bambi throughout Disney Dummies? Like every other
true.
episode,
I do
was like,
remember-
Bambi's
Wow.
still really
I didn't
good.
see that coming. To be
You
honest.
did? Did
did.
you? Maybe
She
I
did
fucking
say-
blacked that out.
She said that a lot.
Constantly.
This is coming out of left field.
Okay, she
Like,
did
this is
say that.
insane.
So did the hunter, Sam.
Oh my god!
She
How'd you
did
do
say
it?
that a lot during the episodes of Disney Dummies, but I always thought it was like, it's just better than I remember it being. Not
Right.
like this is my
Listen.
top 3.
I think it's not necessarily
Thank
my
God
top
I said
3,
Little Mermaid. Oh my god!
but I think of the like Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age. I think it's like the best movie we saw. What was the oldest movie that was nominated before this? Was probably
Snow White?
Great Mouse Detective,
we,
right?
No,
Oh,
that's
it's
way
nominated
after.
here.
Way after.
But I mean, of the ones that we nominated
Oh, Great
today,
Detective.
Great Mouse
Yeah,
Detective
yeah,
was the
yeah.
oldest
Bambi's
one.
the
So I had to
oldest,
get an
yeah.
older
Bambi's
one.
definitely older.
I had to get an older one.
And that would not be the older one I would have chosen.
And well, there was another one that I was debating between,
Well,
but
I
it just
understand
felt
the
like it had to be
significance.
Bambi.
I understand the significance.
Dude, Bambi is definitely one of the cutest characters of all time.
They got cute right early on,
They
and it was
did.
like their third movie, I think.
And the animation
yeah.
in that movie is like
Gorgeous,
fucking amazing.
universal themes: love, loss.
Dude, I did
growth.
not realize you loved Bambi this much.
Listen,
Did I?
This is
Yeah, that's
my guess is
news to
on.
all of us.
if we're
Yeah.
talking about rewatchability, no, I never want to
We
see this
thought
movie.
Brad was going to be Dark Horse, and I don't know what just happened.
Bambi just happened, my friends.
Guys,
Oh my God.
guys,
What are your thoughts on Bambi?
I'll reveal my thoughts about the other thing right now, and then we'll have to take a break.
What's the
'cause
other thing?
I am shocked.
Oh,
Frozen is not on this list.
Yeah.
Oh
What
my
is
God.
happening? What is happening where Frozen is not on the list? I thought Laura or Sam for sure.
we had to
Especially
get a
Sam.
movie.
I think it
87 was
in
the
my
earliest
predictions
movie.
for one of
Yeah.
them.
87 was early. We had to get an older one. In
I
there.
know, but I'm just saying that
Yeah.
is bonkers to me that this movie that Sam is obsessed with. There's 5 Frozen things I'm looking at.
She was obsessed with it, but she has admitted that there's a lot better Disney movies.
But
than
I
that.
also have Bambi on the table.
yeah.
I would also rewatch any of the movies we nominated over Frozen personally.
No.
What about Bambi?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, his poor mom.
Oh my God!
poor mom.
I'm just baffled.
I know, I'm baffled as well, and
Did you see why I did
But
it?
you know what? It wasn't even the other one that I was torn between.
Oh, it was never on the running for you.
Are you, are you allowed to say it now, or is it Ani Menchie's?
Sorry,
It'll
we'll
be
talk
on
about it. We'll
Menchie's,
talk
and we'll
about
talk
it,
about
yes.
it later. But this was not the one that I was like, should I do? Should I not? Which I'm glad I didn't do the other one, because if you still would have went Bambi, then Little Mermaid wouldn't be on this list. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a
I
lot
told you
to
you
take
weren't
in.
gonna take mine.
Lots to take in.
Oh my
I'm
God.
excited and nervous about the
Tongue.
second round.
And
Yeah.
I
gotta
have
let
to
it go.
pee.
I'm gonna let it go. I mean, that wasn't even gonna be on my list. I just thought it was gonna be in the discussion.
I thought
I had
it
a
was gonna
feeling
be
it
in there
wouldn't.
for
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't think
Well,
it would.
Let's go under the sea for a little while, and when we're back, we're gonna rank top 5 Disney animated feature films. We'll be back. Have you ever seen those lists on the internet that's like top 5 sandwich toppings, top 5 movies of the year, top 5 celebrities who have a very punchable face? You know what I'm talking about. The point is, all these lists drive us crazy because we have no idea who made them and how they even narrowed down their top 5 list. That's where my podcast comes in. My name is Tung La, and I am the host of Ranked, top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter. In every episode, with the help of a motley crew of self-proclaimed experts, we debate, battle, and work together, showing you the entire process of how we got there, to create a top 5 list of any and every topic we can think of, like top 5 brunch menu items, top 5 fictional dogs, top 5 90s songs, top 5 Steves? The list goes on, and we will not rest till we rank basically everything. So join us every second Thursday in the Pod Cavern for Ranked, top 5 lists of stuff that don't matter.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Hi everyone, I'm Tong,
I'm Sam.
And I'm Laura.
and we are
Disney Dummies.
Look, we know there are Disney superfans out there, but even the superest of fans could still be Disney dummies.
That's why the 3 of us are on a quest to watch every single animated theatrical release in chronological order, from Snow White all the way to whatever's out right now.
We dive into each movie in detail, talking about fun facts, talking about the animation, hit you with some hot takes, our favorite reviews on the internet.
We even talk about who fucks.
I still can't believe that's an actual segment.
So join us every second Wednesday for another episode of Disney Dummies.
And Pixar pals when we finally catch up.
Yeah. Brought to you by the fairy tale whimsical depths of the Pod Cavern.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
Hello, everyone. We are back,
And I'm Laura.
Make way,
Make way for Laura.
make way for Laura, who has sabotaged every intro of Disney Dummies.
You're
ever.
welcome.
Welcome back to the Ranked Disney Dummies crossover episode, where today, in a very special episode, we are ranking top 5 Disney films for 2 podcasts in 1.
We got a lot of coconuts
I had
to
one
consider.
sip of this rosé and I'm already feeling it.
Heyo.
We better get through
We
this.
gotta
We
not
better
have
hurry up.
Megara
Yeah.
Sam
Yeah,
on
we
the-
gotta
gonna make an
drunk
appearance.
Sam to this top 5.
Yeah, we might got Megara Laura as well, and we don't want that.
Hey, I'm Hercules when I'm drunk.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't think so. Not with that delayed reaction. All
All
right.
brawn, no brains.
Let's go ahead and talk about the 12 movies that were nominated. And like I said, like, it's just insane, this list.
Insanity.
I think like the first round, that we did was very on the nose, I think. It was just like very obvious what people would nominate, I think, like with, I will say, Mulan, Emperor's New Groove, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, seemed pretty tame, right? The next round, we end up getting Aladdin, we had Tarzan,
Tarzan, as they
Great
call him in
Mouse
France.
Detective, and Tangled. Great Mouse Detective was a little bit of a curveball, but I was like, okay. And then we ended with Moana, Atlantis, Little Mermaid, and then Bambi, which is quite...
Yeah, that was quite the bam.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, it'd be like that. But honestly, this list is pretty good. I mean,
pretty good.
this is pretty good. This is kind of like what I had in my top 12, 14 that I was like, these are movies that I would watch, except for Bambi. I didn't have that on my list personally.
But we're not ranking the most watchable Disney
No,
films.
we're ranking it on a bunch of different factors, which we'll get into. But how about we go through stars first, okay? I'm going to have Laura, you're going to star a nomination that isn't one of your own.
I'm going to start first. Oh, interesting. Okay, I want to mix things up and star The Emperor's New Groove.
Wow, that is a big mix-up for Laura.
I know.
That is a huge mix-up. She just said she only watched it once.
I thought Brad was the wild card tonight. What happened?
I do what I want.
It's the rosé, everyone. The rosé is the wild
All
card.
day.
Sam, what are you going to star for your first nomination?
So I'm starring someone that's not my own. I'm going to star Beauty and the Beast.
Damn right.
Wow, that is...
Obviously.
Brad,
Obviously.
star one that isn't one of your own.
I'm going to go ahead and star, I feel like it's the dark horse of all of them, a little indie one. It's called Lion King.
Oh, yeah. Who knows if
Yeah.
we'll do that one.
It might get up there. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Ooh, I'm going to star... Gosh, I think it has to be
The Dark Deer.
Tangled.
Yeah, good start. Good start.
Yeah.
Star.
All right, so the ones that are currently starred, we have Emperor's New Groove, Lion King, we have Beauty and the Beast, and Tangled. I'm going to open up to the floor for people to star some that is, it can be one of your own now, if you really want to fight for it and make a case for it. I don't want to talk about every movie again in detail, but if there's a movie that's going to be let go, we can say a nice send-off to it.
Hot take. We star Aladdin, and that's it. Those
No.
are the stars.
The rosé's already hitting Sam, everyone.
It's
What is happening
I think
here?
that would be a good
No, I don't think so.
my
I don't
God.
think so.
Okay,
But we
you know
can
what?
star Aladdin.
It was worth it for me to try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we star Aladdin?
We're here to
Yeah,
try.
Yes, Aladdin
Star
star.
Aladdin.
Okay.
Star
Hey,
Aladdin.
We're here to try everything, Sam.
try everything.
That's not even on the list.
Not on the list.
Not even considered.
Sorry, Zootopia. Laura, is there anything that you want to start additionally?
Well, I think based on your reaction to the nomination, we have to talk a little bit more about Bambi.
No.
we can star it. It's just further consideration, right?
Further consideration.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
in that case, I'd like to star Moana.
Yeah.
Okay, Brad. Anything else that you think?
Can I do 2-star? Like,
Sure.
star 2 of them?
So that all three of yours are starred?
Yeah. No, Tarzan and Mulan.
Okay, yeah. I think we do have to talk about this. This is a hard star round because I don't even know if we can actually properly do locks in this episode because I think everything might be one.
No, we can
But
we can
could
do
try.
locks.
We could try.
If we're each limited to
Let
5
me
locks.
tell
we can
you.
do it.
No, that's not how it works. Let's talk about the ones that aren't starred, okay? Because that list is much smaller.
Yep.
And I know we love these films.
Yeah.
But if you really don't think it'll make it, then you can say something about it, and we can properly send it off. Of course, this is already in the top 12. It's an honor to be in the top 12.
Honored to be nominated.
Yes. So Atlantis.
Honor to us all, really.
Brad,
Ugh.
I know you love this
love
film.
it.
I know you love this film. I know Sam, you like this film.
I do, yeah.
Laura, I know you feel okay about this film.
Yeah, I think the main thing here is that if we're just not ranking top 5 people who fuck. Yeah, and on that list, it might stand a chance.
Okay.
Milo might stand.
I
a
mean,
chance.
I would say, as much as I love that movie, it's not against these other movies, it's not the top 5. I do think it's worthy of the position that I've given it,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
think it's a top 5 movie. As much as I love it, and I do love it.
I do think it's a dark horse movie,
Yes.
and there's a lot to like about it because it feels very different than a lot of a lot of the Disney movies around that time. Atlantis came in and was very fresh.
Yes.
I don't know if I enjoyed all of their choices in Atlantis story wise. I think there's a pacing issue. That's how I feel about
Too
it.
much talk of plumbing.
I just like
There's so much happening in Atlantis.
I just like when he's like, "Look, I made a bridge."
but it's a cool movie.
It's
I
very cool.
appreciate
It spoke to me on like a guttural level in a way.
You're an explorer.
I like to think so, but yes, it's not begrudgingly say it's not a top 5 against a lot of these other amazing picks.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's talk about Great Mouse Detective, and then we'll keep.
Whoa, okay. Before
These are the ones that aren't starred, Sam. So
yeah,
we'll
I
just-
know, but I was gonna go to some other unstars before Great Mouse Detective.
Post it.
Fine.
Great Mouse Detective. Tell me, do you think this will make the list, or I know you love this
my
movie.
list.
I know, but it really, do you think it actually stands a chance against the other
Well,
things? that
I
are
don't
starred?
know yet. I'm not ready to dismiss it as easily as I'm ready to dismiss even Little Mermaid. So
Really, over you?
yeah,
Great
yeah,
Mouse
yeah.
Detective over Little
say,
Mermaid.
I say that because I know that Rank values diversity and variety.
Yeah.
So Little Mermaid is, to me, we have all the Disney Renaissance up here.
Yeah.
We've got Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Lion King.
Yeah.
That's 4 movies. Those 4 aren't all going to be in the fucking top 5. So I'm ready to drop
It's the
Little
Renaissance
Mermaid.
for a reason, though.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying that as a ranked person, I know we like to try and mix it up. I would drop Little Mermaid before I would drop Great Mouse Detective.
Okay,
I would drop them both.
Wow.
I would probably also drop
I
them
know
both.
we're all gonna want.
But I really like, this is not a dunk on any of these movies. I think they're
No.
all really good. I like Little Mermaid over Great Mouse Detective personally. I think it's obviously it has a lot more clout to it, and it's
Same,
much
yeah.
more like
Better songs.
whatever.
There's
But-
no song. Okay, there's one song in Great Mouse.
Actually, that song is pretty great.
Renegade. But
Renegade.
yeah, rewatchability. I'd watch Little Mermaid over Great Mouse Detective again. But either between like even these two movies against some of these other ones that we have starred already, it's like I just can't fight for either of them.
Yeah. And it's such a hard list that we're going up against that I'm not gonna lie. And maybe I'm ready to drop Little Mermaid. I am actually not ready to drop Great Mouse Detective.
Okay, I'll start.
I know I'm not gonna sway fucking 3
Yeah,
of you.
you have stuff to
We
talk
might
about.
end up gently putting it down.
I'm not gonna be able to sway 3 of you, but I will drop Little Mermaid.
All right.
Is everyone ready to drop Little Mermaid?
Yeah, let's drop her to the bottom
It's
of
not
the
like
sea.
she's,
Okay,
she's not
okay.
going to sing.
Little Mermaid's dropped to the bottom.
It's
of
like
the sea.
she hasn't been the same since she got her human legs, you know? like once she got her human legs,
sure,
she's
whatever.
a little bit uninteresting.
Can I read my Little Mermaid
I think we can
description?
all like respect Little Mermaid
Yeah.
for like what the movie is. A lot of the movies that we didn't mention as well that are just like milestones for Disney
Event movies.
event movies. But yeah, stacked up against a lot of these others, I don't think.
I just don't think so.
I don't think the Little Mermaid makes the cut.
This
Can
is
I-
so hard. Can we just get rid of the easy one, which is Bambi?
Excuse me. Can I say a little
Do you
something
just
about
want to like
Little
shoot
Mermaid?
Bambi right now?
I just want to.
Are you the hunter?
I'm a hunter.
Let Laura say her Little Mermaid
Okay,
thing.
do
Wait,
your thing.
you're not going to give me an
It's
intro
brief.
to everything, are you?
SpongeBob SquarePants may live in a pineapple under the sea, but we all know that the first speaking sea creature to capture our hearts and imagination was a curious young woman with big hair, bigger dreams, and a penchant for interspecies relationships.
Thank you. That was a beautiful send off for Little Mermaid. We're also going to now say
Swim
bye
away.
to Bambi.
No. Okay,
Oh, let's
let's talk.
Let's talk about Bambi.
You want to talk about Bambi?
We'll talk about Bambi.
Okay. Bambi, we can't ignore the history of Disney's early animation. And I think a big part of that is, so we've got like princesses and then we've got animals. If we were talking about Lion King as one of the greatest Disney films, what was Lion King based on and inspired by? Hamlet and Bambi.
Yeah,
I think
I feel like a lot of people called Lion King like African Bambi or
Hamlet
Lion
Bambi?
Bambi or something. That was what it was called.
Maybe it's a hot take, but I also feel like Disney ignores a lot of their past as well. So
they, what do you mean?
there's a lot of sketchy stuff.
They gloss over a lot of stuff, but I feel like Bambi is one of the like good ones from the past.
Oh, it's
true.
it's
There's
worthy of.
There's nothing really problematic in
Do we
Bambi.
really want a top 5 list that doesn't represent anything before the 90s?
Dude, no, but Bambi wouldn't have been my choice.
But nobody else
Bambi-
put anything forward.
We're true.
Yeah.
I wish I had now. If that was going to be the
I think this
argument.
like comes down to like, you know, we just talked about this in like the ground, like around the ground rules, where this list I think ultimately is our favorite Disney films.
and like a rewatch with
Because like yes, there's a merit to historical significance, and of course in past ranked episodes we have factored that in, and I think we should still factor it into like to a degree or something like that. But like especially with these heavy hitters of nominations, I just can't see Bambi overtaking any of these other
Dude, there's 9
nominations.
other strong ones, and we have to whittle it down to 5. So like,
I'm not taking away the significance of Bambi. I agree with you.
Neither am I.
I think
Neither am
it is also one of those milestones, exactly how Little Mermaid was a milestone movie, an event movie, or whatever. But I'm not watching Bambi anytime
Sam,
soon.
Yeah.
this was the first Disney movie to make you cry.
do you
Does
make
that mean
that
nothing?
fact up?
No.
Sam cries all the time.
Snow White. Does Snow White make
that's
you
not
cry?
really a feat. And honestly, it's just not a rewatchability.
Yeah.
thing
I mean,
for
it's
me.
not the top 5 most historical significant Disney
I'm sorry,
movies.
Laura. And Laura, this is not a slam on Bambi. I do think Bambi is one of the cutest. I think the animation is like top tier. I think the backgrounds are top tier.
Those are all
yeah.
really good
I-
arguments in
I
its
think
favor.
this is a film like among films, but we have such a fucking hard list here
We
that's
do.
already gonna be a struggle. Like we have, if we scrap Bambi right now, we have 9 others. We have to scrap 4. That's
It's
so
true.
hard.
Also-
You guys don't know what we're gonna scrap? I feel like I already know what we're gonna
You
scrap.
do? Because I
figure it
don't.
out. We'll
I
figure it out.
don't. I mean, we're gonna. Okay,
Well,
guys,
I'll-
you know what? We're scrapping Great Mouse Detective. Nobody fucking wants Great Mouse Detective. I'm fucking.
It's not happening. I'm
Whatever.
sorry, Sam.
Listeners at home, just know
Goodbye, Basil.
that I don't want to do this, and Basil of Baker Street will forever be in my top 5. But I am not going to fight for it because I know it's a losing battle. So it's gone.
Thank you for doing that, Sam.
Yeah.
And thank you, Laura. I know that we're going to have to let go of Bambi, too. I'm saying let go. We're not shooting Bambi. We
You
will
guys
not
wanna
shoot
slam
Bambi.
We're
Bambi.
shooting Bambi.
We're
No.
freeing Bambi.
Guys, we're shooting Bambi's mom. We're not shooting Bambi.
You're monsters.
I'm sorry. You know, if you
Monsters.
come down to it, like, honestly, I don't think the Bambi songs are very good.
They're terrible.
Whatever.
We're not
It's a
basing this
musical.
on songs, though.
I know, but
I
if
mean,
we're...
the
we're-
voices also just annoy me.
We're trying
They
to
got that
like,
old-timiness.
We're having to deconstruct and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
criticize.
yeah. We're getting
right?
nitpicky or
I have to
whatever.
bring the songs into it. All right, so here's the movie.
I don't even know where to go from here.
I'm gonna do
I don't know
locks.
where to go from here.
I'm gonna do locks. I'll tell you what starred already. Let me just read them through them all, and then I'll read them through again, and we'll do locks. The stars that we have so far are Mulan, Aladdin, Moana, Emperor's New Groove, Tarzan, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Tangled. Okay.
How many is that?
8.
This fucked. This is so
we need
fucked.
cut-
Wait, so what's the other one we cut?
Let me read it again. Okay, this time we're gonna do locks, and before we got rid of Bambi and Great Mouse Detective, we just got rid of those.
And Little Mermaid.
and Little Mermaid and Atlantis.
Oh, Atlantis. Okay.
Okay,
That's 4. Yeah.
so let me read it again.
Atlantis, though.
We're just gonna say lock or no lock. Of course, these aren't binding. You don't have to. If you hesitate
Yeah.
on it at whatsoever, we'll move on. We're just gonna see if we can come to any unanimous decision throughout this
Yeah.
part. Okay, Mulan, lock or no lock? That's a lock for me.
Not me.
Okay, move on. Aladdin, lock or no lock?
I think that's a lock.
That's probably a lock for me.
Not for me.
I'm no. I don't
Okay, move on. Moana, lock or no lock?
know. Not sure.
No.
I'm not sure either. Oh, interesting. That Ooh. Emperor's New Groove, lock or no lock?
Not sure.
It's a lock for
Lock
me.
That's a
for
lock
me.
for me too. Okay, moving on. Tarzan, lock or no lock?
No
That's a
lock.
lock
I could
for me.
see it. Okay, no lock.
Not sure.
Lion King, lock or no lock?
Lock.
Lock.
That's a lock
That's
for
a
me.
lock.
Okay, we can agree on Lion King. This is what we want. Beauty and the Beast, lock or no lock? That's a lock for me.
That's a
Yeah.
lock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tangle, lock or no lock?
That's a lock.
It's
for
a lock.
me.
I
think
really
it
like
is.
Tangled.
I'll do
but-
it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is good. That means we have 3 that are locked. So really, we only need 2. Let me read you the ones that are locked: Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Tangled. The ones that weren't locked: Mulan, Aladdin, Moana, Emperor's New Groove, and Tarzan. We need 2 from that list. I'll say it again: Mulan, Aladdin, Moana, Emperor's New Groove, and Tarzan. We have Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Tangled, assuming they are actually locked in. Try to think about what will round out this list.
So, thoughts? I'm just gonna throw two. This is like a bold
Sure,
statement.
sure,
So
sure.
Go on.
shut me
Say it.
down as you want. But I think to round this list would be really nice is if we threw Moana in there because we've got a CG movie now. But I also feel like throwing Emperor's New Groove in there would be good because we throw in a non-musical, just like funny romp in there. So those would be my two. It seems absurd to like not have Aladdin, obviously, but also it's an obvious choice. And like, I think the other two, I don't know.
Sam, I agree with your second point. I agree with your first, but I could be swayed.
Yeah, sure. I think Moana's, I mean, because right now we have Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and Tangled. They're all musicals. I think throwing Emperor's New Groove in there is
I think it should be on there.
interesting.
I like Emperor's New Groove a lot. The only thing that I'm on the fence about, even though all these movies that we have left over, I fucking love them. They're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. But if I'm gonna nitpick, I would compare Moana and Tangled together because they are both the CG
Oh, sorry,
era.
I forgot
Yeah.
Tangled.
So I'm like, I love Moana a lot, but if I had to compare the two and they pit together, I'm
Ooh,
like, I
shit,
guess
yeah.
Tangled's better. So,
Okay,
like, you know,
okay.
I mean, I don't think
Well,
it's
that's why I
necessarily
didn't-
better.
well,
than-
I mean, like in my head, I think I like Tangled more than I like Moana.
It's
I
a
would
really
agree.
close call. It could
Ooh,
go either
that's
way.
really
I do
tight.
think I prefer Moana's songs over
Yeah.
Tangled.
But Tangled's
But
story is
Tangled
more
does have great songs,
I
and
think it's-
Tangled's story is
it's
better.
more
I
consistent
agree.
and actually, they both make me feel
Yeah.
things, but
But Tangled doesn't have The Rock.
no, but it does have a
It
really.
has Zach Levi.
But Moana has a grandmother who dies very quickly.
Shit. Okay, I forgot. Sorry, yeah.
They're both
I
kinda
kind of said
swashbuckling.
Moana thinking we didn't have a 3D, and I forgot Tangled, obviously.
This is tough.
I feel like-
Emperor's New Groove definitely stands out as something different. I will say that.
And I
Yeah.
think the three of us locked it. Sam was a maybe, but now Sam's saying she thinks it could be on
I
the
think,
list. So
I think I also had forgotten that Tangled and Moana are both our CG candidates, and it's super fucking hard. And I think, as much as I think I might even rewatch Moana more, I do think Tangled's
Yeah.
the better movie.
yeah, that's
I think,
I agree.
I think Tangled deserves to
Yeah.
be in the top
I-
5
yeah.
more.
yeah.
They're both so good.
I love them
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
I love them both. I will
I
rewatch.
wish we didn't have to fight.
Yeah, I don't like doing this, but I do think Tangled over
What?
Moana.
And
It's not as if we're not considering the coconut.
We are.
We are considering
The problem
the
is the other coconut is that it's okay if we have another CG movie on this list. Like there's been plenty now, right? Like that is the era we live in. So I don't know if it's completely off the table, but I do think we can compare them together.
I do think Tangled is the lock, though. Like,
Oh, yeah, Tangled's already
is
locked.
the lock. Yeah,
Tangled's
yeah,
already
yeah.
locked. How about let's talk about Tarzan? We can talk about Aladdin, Mulan.
I mean, that's like Tarzan versus Aladdin. Oof, that's a tough matchup, to be honest.
Yeah,
They both have great songs.
That's a tough one. That really.
I think Aladdin has a lot of clout because it's funny and it is good. Like I absolutely love Aladdin. It's got great songs. It's got great character actors. It's got great vibes. It's got great art direction. I think everything about Aladdin is good, and it's like an obvious choice on these lists all the time. But I think if we want just like, I don't know. I don't think I would necessarily watch it 100 times over these other movies. And I love Aladdin so much, so it hurts to
Yeah.
say that. But I think we're giving it more than it maybe deserves because the media always puts it as like the best.
I don't know. I love Aladdin.
I do love Aladdin.
movie.
I
It's
do
a great
love
movie.
Aladdin. I don't
think
want to shit on
I think if we're
Aladdin.
comparing Aladdin and Tarzan, Aladdin is like a better time than Tarzan. Like it's
Yeah.
more like the songs are poppy and fun. You're just having Tarzan is like danger and Clayton. Like,
Yeah.
Jane.
yeah, it's,
Tarzan kind of hits
yeah.
this like family piece that we haven't
Yes.
gotten a lot of Disney
But
movies.
And
I-
Aladdin's like another musical, whereas Tarzan like has music beats that are important.
Yes.
Like Phil Collins
Yeah.
kills that movie,
Yeah.
but it's not really like the characters
Yeah,
aren't
exactly.
singing. And
Yeah.
I think
not
we already
exposition.
kind of have Lion King and Beauty and the Beast, so like not not as a shot against Aladdin, but I think Tarzan's interesting where it was like the score with music is such an interesting time, and the way that they did it worked so well that nobody does anymore. Like, you don't just have this art. You're not like, hey, whatever artist, why don't you just write a bunch of songs for our movie?
They
Nobody
tried
does
for
that.
a long time,
Yeah.
didn't they? Well, I didn't like Atlantis.
Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah.
Like, it just
Treasure
didn't
Planet,
work.
so
And
many more.
I feel like Phil Collins is the only one to make that work. And then the animation was so good that, like, again, Tarzan feels kind of like lightning in a bottle, and the like, why is this so amazing? Like,
But if we were to pit Tarzan against Moana, who's the victor in that head-to-head?
Oh, Tarzan.
You think so? Eh?
I think Tarzan.
Definitely, in my opinion.
I don't know.
And I love Moana. So, wait, you're pitting Tarzan against Moana. Does that mean we... This is
So if
insane.
we-
This is
wait, no,
insane.
no.
But do we cut Aladdin? I think we might...
So here's my case to
'Cause we're
cut.
like-
Here's my
yeah.
case to cut Aladdin, even though I nominated it. I love it. I think Robin Williams, Genie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's so hard.
Guys,
to
we
cut
love
it.
all these movies. We love all
like
these
Little Mermaid, right?
My cover of Prince Ali, I checked the other day on YouTube, reached 20-something K views.
Amazing.
Robin Williams' Genie is like one of the most iconic fucking characters ever that
Yeah.
like really
Yeah.
shaped
Oh my
my
God.
childhood.
Yeah, yeah.
But here's my argument, I guess, if I have to make it, which I do, for Rank. That's the hard things we do on this podcast. This is what we do for you people at home.
We put in the work.
Yeah, we argue with our friends until we cry. It's just like it is very close to that Lion King era, that Beauty and the Beast era
Yeah.
of stuff. I struggle really to have another one of the
Yeah.
Renaissance movies in there. Really, if I were had to pit one against each other, it'd be Aladdin versus, I guess, Lion King. But I think I would choose Lion King.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would have said Aladdin versus Beauty and the Beast, personally.
And I would murder you with a sword.
yeah, to me they're quite not tonally different, but
They are
Oh, they're
different.
totally
They're so
different.
different.
Very
All three of
totally
those.
different.
All three of those. Yeah.
yeah, there's more of a mood in Beauty and the Beast that I like.
And I don't want listeners at home. It's like I don't know. For me, when we're having this talk, it's like we're pitting these against each other because they're all animated films. But I do think the genres are different. Like Aladdin's a comedy. Beauty and the Beast isn't a comedy.
Certainly.
Like Beauty and the Beast is a
There's
drama.
comedy chops.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not pitting it against
sure.
Beauty and the
I'm not
Beast
pitting
because
them
it's like
against, but
similar.
I just think people are like really destined to like put these. I think they go in the same category because they're all animated around the same time. But it's like, listen, and they're both musicals, so like obviously easy to put them in together. But I do think Beauty and the Beast is like a serious drama, and Aladdin is a comedy. And I think, especially with all this like hubbub in the last few years around the Oscars too, it's like animation is not the genre. Like these genres are different.
Interesting
Animation
point.
is the medium. So like as much as we're putting them against each other and they're animated, it's like they're very different apples to oranges movies.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know.
I think Aladdin tells a better story than Lion King. I'll say that because I think Lion King, and this was especially true when I watched the live action version of Lion King, where it basically rips off the original story. Simba's teenage years are completely glossed over in a song, right? And there was an opportunity, at least in live action one, to fill that out, but they never did. They just kept it to the
Because
original.
it's more of an epic.
I know, but it's just there is stuff in Lion King that isn't fully formed. It's just such a great thing that I'm okay with letting it go. Where Aladdin is much, I feel it tells a more complete story. But that said, I get a visceral reaction in a very good way, like a very like I am very excited hearing the circle of life. Like you know what I mean? Like there's
From the moment the sun
there's like a no, like I get chills. I get chills.
I want to go put it on right
when
now.
Rafiki holds Simba to the sky on Pride Rock, there's a feeling I get in Lion King that I don't necessarily get in Aladdin.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
Well,
pitting a feeling versus.
Could we
Well, and
also-
that's why I'm pitting Aladdin against Beauty and the Beast because I don't think either of those can touch Lion King in my mind.
So here's-
as different as they are, it's like which between those two, which one really wins?
I would almost pit Aladdin against Emperor's New Groove because they're the two comedies.
But I think like we can also just drop Aladdin.
We could just drop Aladdin. we
Drop
can just drop
Aladdin.
it.
We've- yeah.
I think
Honestly,
that's the
listeners at
solution to
home,
me.
we all fucking
Yeah,
love
yeah.
Aladdin.
I love Aladdin.
We love Aladdin. We love Aladdin.
I love Al.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah, I mean,
we-
if you're forcing me to choose between Emperor's New Groove and Aladdin, it's going to be Emperor's New
Yeah.
Groove.
Wow.
Okay, wow. I think for simplicity's sake, we drop Aladdin.
We should just drop Aladdin.
We're
'cause we
dropping
still have to
Aladdin.
do
I'm
a few
scratching it off.
more. Okay, I'll read you what we have left. Mulan, Moana, Emperor's New Groove, Tarzan. We need 2. to go.
But I think
two.
Emperor's New Groove is on the list.
Is it?
Is it?
I-
Should we lock Emperor's New Groove?
The three of us were ready to lock it before.
I was locking it.
Oh, I'm ready to
before.
lock.
I think Sam was the holdout.
Yeah.
So if
I
you're
was
ready
the
to
holdout,
lock,
but
let's lock.
I'm ready to lock it.
Let's
I'm
do
ready
it.
to
Let's
lock
do
it.
it.
This
I'm
way.
ready to
I like
lock it.
Emperor's
do
New
it.
Groove.
I
a lot.
love that it's on the list. I love that.
It's just such a funny movie, and Disney doesn't do
Yeah.
just straight comedy.
No,
it's just
it doesn't.
joke after joke after joke, and I think it holds up quite well.
Dude, it does.
It's
And like
so good.
you were saying, I think where they're not like time sensitive. Like it's like, yeah, this is still funny. Like they're not flossing, they're not doing this.
Yeah.
It's just like universal and it works.
No Negroni Spagliato on that, in that movie.
No. Although I have heard a criticism before about Emperor's New Groove, which I'm not sure if I entirely agree with, that they don't really... We talk about this in the Emperor's New Groove episode.
We do.
Where it's kind of like they aren't really representing the culture very well in Emperor's New Groove. And I think in that episode that we did, the argument was... I can totally see that point, but they weren't really incorporating that into the story. It had nothing to do with where it was taking place, really. It was mostly about this llama adventure and how funny
I
it
think
was,
it's
right?
something that you can acknowledge. I think
Yeah.
you can be like, yes, okay. It does kind of like appropriate the Aztec culture in the sense that it uses a lot of it for its imagery and its backgrounds and this, and then doesn't really do anything with it. So it is using a certain cultural.
But it's not Brother Bear.
It's not. It's not Brother Bear. It's using it, and it's like, oh, maybe you should have done that. But then it doesn't really use it for like a story purpose.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
It kind of
yeah.
goes off, and it's like, yeah, you definitely could have done that better, but you could have done it worse.
Yeah.
They just don't really acknowledge
yeah.
it, which I guess...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I wonder too with so not Disney's next movie, but the one after that, Wish. I believe that one's set in Peru, and it looks like a time period gone by. And so I wonder if that's an attempt to sort of like
I mean,
make
every
up for
time
lack
they
of
try and do
representation.
it, I feel like they're
in
doing
Emperor's
a
New
little
Groove.
better.
Yeah.
And I don't think Emperor's New Groove even was like trying to do it, you know? So it's like,
Exactly.
it's like Pocahontas clearly like missed the mark.
Yeah.
And then I think Moana, they tried and they were doing better. And then I think Encanto came along and it was still, there were some iffy things, but they did like really well. And again, I'm not a person of color commenting on this, so like
Yeah.
I'm not the person to say
Grain
that
of
it did
salt.
it well or
Sure.
not. But I think from what I've read, that they were like doing a little better, and they're doing a little better, and every time it's like a little better. And I think with Emperor's New Groove, it was like they weren't even like they didn't even consider maybe, and that's like a fault of it. Like sure, they didn't consider it, but they didn't even.
It's not...
It
it's
wasn't
not part of
intentional.
it.
It wasn't intentional. It wasn't like Pocahontas where like you know the history and you're like choosing to morph it a
Yeah.
certain way. I think Emperor's New Groove was like we didn't even like know we were like using the imagery of it, and we
Yeah.
didn't like know, and like we can like say like yeah like whatever we were wrong, but it was like in a total like non.
I would say like you could
Non-issue.
take Emperor's New Groove
Yeah.
story and everything that happens into it,
Yeah.
put it in a different setting.
Yes,
It still works.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Entirely. Let's lock it.
Yeah. So it's locked. It's locked.
On a side, I did want to say that this is all on a side note, but
Yeah.
the documentary about Emperor's New Groove, The Sweatbox, for listeners at home, if they want to watch a great documentary, they should look up The Sweatbox.
Oh, is that the one that's on YouTube?
Is
I feel
it
like
on
you
YouTube?
talked about
I
this.
mentioned
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I mentioned it
It's
several
so
times.
good, and
yeah.
it's all about like the making of Emperor's New Groove and like the trials and tribulations
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
went through,
'cause it's not on
and what
Disney
it
Plus,
started
right?
as, and what it's like. It's such a good documentary. It's
I'd
so
check
good.
that out.
Guys, the three left, I don't even want to like.
Where do
So
it?
between
I
for
don't
me,
wanna
can I just
fucking
say
do that.
for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
Tarzan?
it's between Mulan and Tarzan.
Yeah. I think
So we're cutting Moana.
For me, I love Moana. I didn't at first, as I said,
Yeah.
but I came around.
So good.
But between Mulan
good.
and Tarzan,
I
come
think
on.
like
I can see
why
a case for
don't
all of
we put ourselves in a position where we actually don't have to make a decision on pitting these against each other and just put Bambi.
just the dark
Why are you
dark
laughing?
Bambi comes
Yeah.
in.
Dark Deer.
The dark deer.
Just consider it.
Guys,
Just consider it.
I consider those coconuts. I don't want them.
Sam, are you considering it?
I'm
Just
not.
consider
I'm
it.
not considering that coconut. I can consider This is like fucked up how hard this. I didn't expect it to come to this.
All right, I will say my obvious pick is Mulan. I've been quiet about it, but I feel very passionate about this movie. Please bring honors to us all by having Mulan on this. No, I understand these three that we're about to talk about are huge.
Yeah.
Like monument-wise, like Mulan was one of the most important Disney films in my upbringing.
Yeah.
It's cool to have representation on this list as well if we're going to tackle that angle. But it's a cool story. Like Mulan was always a standout Disney princess, quote unquote. She was so unlike all the other princesses or female heroines that came before her. Moana was very, like, I feel like was inspired by, like, what Mulan did in the past, where it's like, you know, you have this independent, badass woman who's just gonna carry. She saves China, Mulan, all on her own. She takes down, what do we say? Like, I forget in the episode that we did, it was like 500 Huns on her own.
Highest body count in Disney.
I would do Mulan over Moana.
I will also do Mulan over Moana. I'm also going to top up my rosé.
Yeah.
Get it.
Can I do something potentially controversial?
Yeah, you can try.
I will try. I'm gonna pitch removing
Don't do it, Brad.
Tangled and putting Mulan and Tarzan.
No,
instead.
I won't allow it.
Why do we have to do
I
a
won't allow
3D
it.
movie?
Because
Just
we
because
are-
it's 3D?
but it's
like,
not because
oh,
it's
you're
3D.
welcome.
No,
You're
no.
3D. You get into the top movies. Like, fuck that. It's the best movie. Like,
So
the
we-
top 5 movies. Just because it's 3D doesn't mean it
Brad,
gets a...
but Brad, may I remind you that you locked Tangled with the
I
rest of
know.
us? Because you know that
It's
that's
so
a
good.
great movie.
But now looking at what's left, it's
But
like,
I don't
dude,
think
is that better than Tangled,
I don't think
though?
anyone said let's put it on the list because it's CG. Like Sam suggested, let's put Moana on the list for CG representation, but then remembered we had Tangled.
Yes.
But I think we want it on the list because it's one of our favorite movies.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tangled's too good, I guess.
Yeah.
The characters are really good. The songs are really good. I would put it. Okay, so this is going to be like, I love Mulan, but I would put Tangled over Mulan.
I don't know
Yeah.
if Tangled was even moving on this list. Though,
Well,
right?
I don't
Tangled's
even.
on the list.
If we're doing-
yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to move anything, but I'm just saying if we're gonna like start pitting Tangled against things, I'd have.
We're not.
We're not.
Oh, I am.
We're not.
I definitely
No, but
am.
he brought it up, so I'm just gonna say that I would have a hard time pitting Tangled against Moana. I feel like I'd maybe have a hard time pitting Tangled against Tarzan, but maybe not.
I think the real fight
I
is
don't
versus.
know.
Unless Laura, you can actually. I
I
haven't
don't
heard your
know.
enough thoughts of Moana on your side, but I do think the fight to me is Mulan versus Tarzan.
Yeah.
Does that mean?
Let's cut Moana then.
So
Yeah?
here's the thing:
Yeah,
is
I
like,
think we should cut Moana.
We should ask. Laura hasn't said anything about Moana.
I
yet.
prefer Moana to either of those films, but I also think for like completeness of the list, I think that we should put Bambi on the list.
Okay. All right, Laura.
Fight you. Do you have anything?
Oh, you want me to
contribute?
tell you?
What do you? Yeah.
But-
can you contribute something that'll help?
But I
the
mean, I would
conversation?
still like to see Bambi.
But it's not happening.
I'm just like lowly number 5.
Laura, it's not happening.
Laura, Bambi's not me.
I think I love Mulan, but I think my love for Mulan is heavily influenced by your love for Mulan.
Sure.
And I think, like, objectively speaking, I do think that Tarzan is the better film.
And I would have the argument, and I would honestly be okay if Mulan ended up losing versus Tarzan. I'm not going to say I'm going to fold right away, but I think
We can
maybe
still
at this
debate,
point
yeah.
we should just cut Moana, right?
Yeah, can we cut Moana?
Yeah, I think
Let's cut
Moana can be cut. Yeah.
Okay, so in the
Make way.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're down to Tarzan and Mulan.
Okay.
I
let's do
have
Go on.
I have thoughts.
Okay,
it.
go
Please,
on.
please.
Should I get the art of?
No.
Okay.
I love Tarzan. I do. Animation wise, anatomy wise, character wise.
Nice.
And I will watch Tarzan basically any day you put it in front of me. But I'm not going to lie, much like the beginning of this podcast, if we're going by heart, Mulan came to me much later in life than Tarzan did. Tarzan, I saw in theaters, and I saw here and there, and I saw it in animation school and like whatever. And it did speak to me, and I really liked it. Mulan showed me something different, though, that I never saw before. I feel like Guy in a Jungle. It's like George in the jungle, this in the jungle, some white guy in the jungle.
What
like,
other guys in the jungle
like
besides
there's
George?
some white guy that's like doing this thing and like whatever.
Yeah.
And the music is good. And I like honestly, I'm not. This is really hard because I do love Tarzan, but Mulan I think I saw for the first time like 5 years ago, and I know I said this on Dummies. I've watched it so many times since. I think all the music in Mulan is banging. I think the art direction and the character design in Mulan is so good. And I honestly, if we're talking rewatchability too, like any day of the week, like I would love to put on Mulan because I think it's a very good, everything about it is pleasing. And I think to even round out this list, I would go Mulan over Tarzan.
I didn't realize you hated Tarzan so much.
I love Tarzan, and it hurts me because Tarzan's like obviously 6, but like
I don't know how Brendan Fraser's going to feel about this.
I know, but honestly,
Why would Brendan Fraser care? He's George of the Jungle.
Yeah,
It's George of the Jungle.
Different
like,
thing entirely.
standing in solidarity with his
dude,
brother.
that was really hard to even look at. This has been actually way harder than I anticipated, and I never even knew these feelings about myself.
Yeah.
But now that I'm looking at them, I'm just like picturing the snow and the armies and shit in Mulan, and
I don't like
I
that
love
scene.
Mulan. I love Mulan.
I love Mulan.
Yeah. So I don't know. You guys can convince me otherwise if you're on the other team.
Well, I
but-
think that this is a really hot debate that we have on our hands, and I would
Laura,
say
do not,
rather than
do
engaging,
not, this stop. It's not happening. Bambi's done.
Bambi's mom is done.
There's
Bambi
an
lives
easy
forever
answer.
as the
We
young
just go
prince
with
of the
Bambi.
forest.
Not moving the
He
conversation.
is the
at
great
all.
prince. It would end this debate.
You're actually making me hate Bambi.
That's rude. That's rude.
What
I don't know.
What do you think about
I don't
Tarzan?
I'm Team Tarzan.
Yeah,
but
okay.
Can you
Tell us more.
like
For me, like, so I think the argument of the physical rendering of Tarzan himself is an incredible feat.
I agree with that.
I also think that as much as the music from Mulan is fun, I don't think it can top the banger after banger after banger that we get from Mr. Collins. This is very subjective, but to me, I felt the story of Tarzan a little more, like the element of like a found family and that sort of thing. I thought was really beautiful. Not to say that there's also a really beautiful storyline in Mulan as well.
Okay, guys.
I'm
I'm gonna just say something controversial, and you can talk to this because they're your pitches.
yeah.
Brad.
Atlantis, number 1.
No, it's so hard.
It is so hard.
Okay, so obviously you're gonna pick Tarzan over Mulan. What if you had to pick Tarzan over Emperor's New Groove? Would you like still pick that? I don't want to unlock.
What is a baby fight ring? What are you trying to get me to do over here?
I don't know, guys. Like
I mean, I already tried to throw Tangled out and I got yelled at.
Yeah,
Like,
you
I would
did.
take
I pulled
both
out my
of these
sword.
movies over Tangled, personally.
Welcome to
oh,
Ranked. No, I would not. I wouldn't
No.
drop Tangled. I wouldn't drop Tangled.
Okay. I would.
But
I would
that
potentially
said,
drop
I will
Tangled.
say I think Mulan is like probably in the top 2 for me of like
In your top 2.
Like even me, it could be sometimes number 1.
Here's what I'm gonna say. This I think yes, I think I've made the decision. I'm willing to switch to Team Mulan, and I think it's for the representation piece because we've got animals, and then we've got a couple of white ladies, and then we've got Emperor's New Groove is a
Comedy
llama.
masterpiece.
a llama.
Yeah.
So
I mean, llamas
but I think-
represent us all.
I think it would be nice to have like a non-white human character. Although I guess Cusco and Co. are
Cusco and Pacha
Yeah, true.
Technically.
I mean,
technically.
I'm looking at the list and I see a lot of movies where the characters are singing. Tarzan, it's not really the characters that are singing.
Yeah.
It's the,
You're not wrong.
the beautiful, the godlike Phil Collins singing the whole way through. And I mean, I say that begrudgingly because it's so hard to choose between these two movies, Mulan versus Tarzan.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, either
Yeah,
way
it's
we
really
win,
a
to be
struggle.
fair. But like,
And
I
I
know.
feel that
But
point.
between
though.
the
I
two-
do feel that point.
I like come to me tomorrow and it'll be a different answer, kind of thing.
Tung,
Like,
what were your noms?
My noms were Mulan, Aladdin, and Moana.
Okay.
But this is not, and I don't want it to become like, I don't care if I don't have any on the list. This is not that. I know people are like, no,
But I care, Tongue.
But I don't care about that. And like, I appreciate the representation piece too. But like, I don't want Mulan to win just.
Dude, this was a group effort.
Yeah, Mulan's more than just the representation piece. Even though
I agree.
it is 100% that too. Like,
But I'm trying to find tiebreakers.
I
here.
know, and usually I'm the one who fights for the representation on lists and stuff like that. So I do appreciate you bringing that up, and I do think it's valid too. But like, God, she's such an inspiration. I think she.
Dude, this is actually the hardest because these two movies are like, if I had to pick to put one on right now, it's just like either goes, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is actually the hardest. I never expected to go into this.
It's easy for me.
I really never.
It's easy for you.
Yeah.
'cause
I would put on
it's
Mulan
not.
right now.
It's not easy for me.
I love Tarzan. I love
Yeah.
Tarzan,
Yeah.
but Tarzan, there's a level of I'm gonna feel sad at like some
Yeah,
points in
yeah.
Tarzan, and I'm not always ready to feel this break that I'm gonna get in Tarzan. Like when Kerchak died, how do you say his name?
Kerchak.
Yeah, when he dies in Tarzan, very powerful moment.
Yes.
It will break you, will crush you, and there's like parts to that I'm not always ready to feel. Mulan's a little bit more simplified in that way, I think, where it's just much more digestible, and that's why I'm able to watch it more. And there's more hijinks and comedy, which I do like ultimately more.
I do think I'm willing to put Mulan in over Tarzan, only because I think Mulan's like a tighter movie than Tarzan. Tarzan's got like that band camp thing that I fucking skip every time because I don't care.
Laura loves that.
I skip that shit. I do not like it. That's a hard skip for me.
This is late in the conversation to bring up that point.
Mulan is, and looking at the movies we have, it's like there's like feel goods, but Mulan, like, I don't know, when you watch it, it's got that like stirring moment where she overcomes and like the avalanche is coming, and it's like, whereas Tarzan, it doesn't have, like, it's got its own moments, of course, but it's not.
They're both
like,
so good.
Brad just sold me on Mulan. I'm Team Mulan now.
Yeah, as
Laura-
much as Tarzan was my pick, I think
I
gotta
can't even
go
look at
Mulan.
him.
It's just not it.
Oh my god.
That's one of Laura's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-doo-bop-bop.
Yeah, I
It's not the Full House theme song.
I feel like no matter what we win and no matter what we lose in this
Yeah.
situation, like I also like, I think what Tarzan did to animation, and like I do think him just zipping up around vines and doing all that slidey shit inspires me, stirs something inside of me. But I also think about that moment in Mulan and I'll Make a Man of You,
Yeah.
when nobody in the fucking camp, all the men cannot climb that pole, but she can.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot more of those moments that are just like butterflies in your stomach
Get
kind of
behind
Go
thing.
Mulan, you go Mulan.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
all of China, including the emperor, bow down to her.
Oh my god. The stakes are fucking high.
They're high.
The highest, you might say.
Yeah, they're
All
very
right,
high. Okay, Mulan.
Can I nominate the fan art of how Tarzan swings?
No.
While holding
Yeah, but it's going to be set to the song Trash in the Camp, Brad.
Okay, we've got our 5.
We got our five. Holy.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Mulan, Emperor's New Groove, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Entangled.
My God.
5-1. Let's go. I guess Mulan hits 5 after all.
I think so.
I mean,
Okay,
I would
Mulan-
actually put Emperors at 5.
I was
but-
gonna say Mulan and Emperors are 5-4.
I think so.
Yeah.
yes, I would agree. Emperor should be 5, only because it's like
Wait,
the
you
other.
think Emperor
the
should
oth-
be 5?
Sorry.
You think Emperor should be
I
5?
think Emperors
Yes,
should
I'm
be 5.
agreeing.
Oh, I think Mulan should be 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
But-
Emperor should be 5.
I think
I-
Emperors 5.
We should-
I love Emperors with all my heart, but the other 4 movies have like a much fuller story to them
Emperor's New
thematically.
Groove is a very good,
Yeah.
very good
It's-
Tommy Gun of gags.
Yes,
But
yes.
Mulan is obviously
Yeah,
more than
Mulan's
that.
But we
I
locked
agree.
it. But we locked Emperor's
I-
a
Yeah,
lot
But
easier.
even if you had
But-
Tarzan on this list, I would put Emperor's 5, I think.
I think Emperors
Okay.
5. Emperors 5.
Okay.
Mulan 4?
I mean, on
Yeah.
my personal list, Emperors is higher, but I can agree that it's 5.
Yeah, I agree. Emperor is 5, Mulan.
I will
4.
not fight for Mulan even higher than that. Mulan's done enough.
Yeah.
You can put down your sword, Mulan.
So Tangled's got to be 3.
I gotta say Tangled 3.
I would put Mulan over Tangled personally.
No.
Because I was arguing to remove
I could
Tangled.
no.
Go ahead, give us your thing.
Like we all immediately locked Tangled.
Dude, I could be
whereas
swayed on this,
Mulan,
though.
like I think we've had a lot more time talking about Mulan, which is why we're now like all hyping Mulan in our minds. But I think objectively, we were
Yeah,
talking
but we
about
haven't
how
hyped
great.
enough Tangled, maybe.
Okay, Tangled combination. You guys were raving about the animation earlier and how it was leagues ahead of the films.
We
that
said
came
that it did
before
better because the CG was so lacking before it.
But that shows like what a big jump it was.
Yeah,
I think the vocal performances in Tangled are off the charts. The songs are way better.
But if we're
going
going
to
do one jump of the
Mulan.
next one, should we not bring Aladdin back into the conversation?
No, Aladdin's gone. Tongue, you're very passionate about both movies.
I am passionate. I think on my personal list, Mulan's better than Tangled. On this list, I think it makes sense for Tangled to be over Mulan. And the reason why is Tangled is an event movie and Mulan is an event movie for me. It's not actually one that changed the game, like animation wise, and maybe story wise it did. For at least for me anyways, but I do think the importance of Tangled. Now, if we're going to add in that piece of historical importance to the Disney pantheon and all that other stuff, there's something about Tangled that is very bright and optimistic that I do enjoy. So,
Which is why I'd be still fine at 4.
It would be. Again, on my personal list, Mulan would be much higher, but I think my fight for Mulan has... I don't know if I can do it.
I think if you sat me down and you were like, we can watch either Mulan or Tangled right now, I would choose Mulan.
Yeah, I
over
would
Tangled.
too.
But I think that's just because we were.
No. But this
No,
is
I
just,
don't think
this
that's
is
why.
like
I don't think
Mulan
that's
was
why.
higher on my list than
Yeah,
Tangled.
I do think Mulan
Yeah.
is better than Tangled.
What do we
But
have?
then how did we all agree on Tangled so quickly and Mulan? We
Because we were like a
for so
3D movie.
I mean, we can go
It's
backwards,
good.
but I feel like I said that they could both be
Yeah.
locked.
I do feel like it's fair to say like we locked it in, but that's not really how this goes.
What is because you got Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
and Lion
Lion
King
King.
after? Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we are getting hyped up here, but we still have bigger battles to fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saving myself for. So maybe that's why I'm not trying to fight yet.
So
I would be perfectly okay with either or like.
yeah, sure,
either
fine.
way.
3 and 4 are like fine. I won't fight for it. I think Mulan should be over Tangled, but
for me, Mulan's
Whatever.
5.
Oh
my
you're
God.
Damn.
Yeah, well, like,
Why?
I said
You
that.
married
I did say that.
How over Emperors? You've only really seen it once, then, or once or two. Yeah.
I think Mulan is a very enjoyable movie, but I also think there are a lot of elements to it that I don't like. Like I had to watch it.
Now's the time to say it because we need to know.
Yeah, like I think there's some stuff that's really not super clear, like with how the like the Huns relate to even like the fact that Shang's like father was the like chief or
general or
what
whatever.
general. Like it took me a few watches to even realize that, and then to realize that he actually did die, because there's this sort of like symbolic moment where they find the doll, but you don't really realize what that means. I think it's like, to me, there's some missing pieces that aren't super explicit. That is like, especially a movie made for kids, I'm like, I don't really get what's going on. I don't love the battle scenes. Like I don't like the villain.
Mulan, when she fights
battle scenes are-
when Mulan fights the Hun,
I find
at
the Hun
top,
so scary.
Wait,
Yeah.
have
I
you
don't
been
like
watching the
them.
live action instead of the cartoon?
Okay, there's a move in Mulan. I'm just going to mention it right now because I think it's so cool. When she's fighting the head Hun, I forget his name, and he has his like fucking like curved sword and
Yeah.
shit like that, and he tries to stab her, but Mulan is
She
finally.
catches it in wood.
Yeah.
No, it's better than that. Mulan comes to, like, she's now Mulan. She's no longer Ping. She's Mulan. So she whips out her fan.
Yeah.
And the sword goes through the fan. She spins the sword around, and then she catches the sword, and now she's the one with the sword fighting him. And it's so cool. And she has a cool kick on him, too.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't know if I agree with that, Laura. Like, I mean, I know I've seen it many times, but that's the problem is I do think it's clear what's happening. I don't know.
I think I'm also biased because I'm a 2D animator, not a 3D animator. So I prefer the 2D over the 3D when it comes to the films. I like the style in Mulan much more than Tangled. Tangled is a beautiful movie and like ahead of its time.
Mulan
for
had
Disney.
stylistic choices.
But that's what I'm saying is that Mulan was like stylistic. And I don't think there was a lot of stuff along its lines before Mulan, whereas Tangled looks a lot like Pixar movies. It's more painterly, but like they kind of just stuck with that from then on. So I would personally, I think Mulan would go over Tangled.
Let's just do that.
So did I.
Tangled 4 then.
Yep.
Sorry, Laura. Laura's really mad. She doesn't get Bambi. Tangled's on the list. Like 4 is really good. Anyways.
Yeah.
Dude,
Not
it is
With all
really
these
Son,
movies, are you
it's
kidding
not
me?
3.
Yes.
I can't believe Mulan's 3.
I can.
I can. It's amazing.
I can. Mulan's awesome.
It's so good.
I'm surprised.
If you've not seen Mulan, you should see Mulan.
Everybody, listeners at home, Mulan rules.
It rules. I know. Okay, I'll put an asterisk just like I did in the Mulan episode. Yes, there's also the weirdness of representation of China and all that stuff in Mulan. I understand that piece. I really do. I'm Asian. I'm not Chinese, but I am Asian. I understand that. But there is something very stirring and very fun and very powerful about something about Mulan that's really, just really great. But anyways, I was ready to make it number 4, but sorry, Laura. So we're going to go Tangled number 4, Mulan 3, and now we're going to duke it out 2 and 1. What's number 2?
I really didn't want to come to. I did not want it to come down to
was
these
always
two,
going to come
but
down
I
to
knew it
these.
was going to come down to these two.
How about we all write down what our number 1 is?
No,
and then
no,
share
no,
it.
no, we
Or
can't do
that.
we do
can't
3, 2, 1, and we all
can't
say it
do
out
that.
loud.
We know what they.
We know. I know.
3, 2, 1, say it out
I
loud.
know what.
Okay, well, Laura and I are open books, so
Yeah. So it is Brad and
it's
I.
Brad and Tom.
Laura's obviously
no.
Beauty
See, I
and the
knew.
Beast. Sam's obviously Lion King. Brad?
Okay,
I should have worn my Beauty and the Beast shirt.
Wait, I already know you.
Bambi.
No, the answer was Bambi 2. There was a Bambi 2 somewhere.
The Dwayne Johnson
There was,
Bambi.
yeah, there was.
Fuck. I didn't want to do Lion King 1, but I feel like it's the obvious pick. Like Lion King is an institution to Disney. Like Beauty and the Beast is an amazing film, amazing characters. It's an institution unto itself. But Lion King, it's like it's above and beyond what Beauty and the Beast is, and it's a great movie as well. I mean, both are
so good.
but like I don't know, like
They're
how
both
can you
so
argue against Lion King is what I put to the
If I
three
may?
of you. Yes.
Laura, please.
If I may
Read your
argue.
paragraph. I see.
Of
Pull
Lion
your
King?
phone out.
Simba may stand on the crest of Pride Rock, but it would be a disservice, nay, an injustice, if we ignored the fact that he also stands on the shoulders of the women who came before him and built the foundation upon which he roars. The Disney animated enterprise. Disney animated,
same
what's
thing.
the word?
This is
The Disney
unbelievable, Laura.
animated studios was built on princesses. It was built on
And
princesses.
he surpassed them.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know. I'm like not saying this is a.
I'm torn.
I just mean
This
it
is
would be.
insane.
It would be. I think Belle. If we were to put Beauty and the Beast as number 1, it would be representative of the fact that like Disney princesses.
Yeah, girl boss.
By far the greatest. Like they are what made
No.
Disney
I understand
as popular
that.
as
Yeah,
it is today.
I get it. But
That's
don't
what
we,
I mean.
don't we,
so.
okay, I agree with you to an extent. Like, Disney Princesses is what made Disney. I get it. Like, this is like the most popular types of films that they made, and now they have the freedom
Merch.
to make other things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, Lion King.
I will never.
Well, that's all you need to say right there.
Yeah. I will never pick anything but I think the guttural feelings that I get from Lion King are just there, and I think it's more of a universal story. And I say this, loving Beauty and the Beast, obviously wanting it number 2. I love it so much, and princesses and this and that, whatever. It was the first movie I ever saw. I absolutely
Sam,
adore it.
look at me in the eyes.
Yeah.
I want adventure in the gray. What?
Yeah.
You don't feel that? You don't feel that?
I do feel that.
Yeah.
I do feel that, but I also feel
What do you feel?
The Lion King and its great expanse. I think it's just more of a universal story. I think the mood it sets. I think obviously Beauty and the Beast is a great like little French town mood, and then they do the castle thing.
Provincial
life, yes. I think Lion King does a bigger thing. I think the fact that it was able to like re-release several years later in theaters, and I'm not using that, I mean I am using that as a number thing, but I do think it's just got this like giant, it's got more of an unknown to it. I think more of a mystery to it, and I don't know, I think
It's almost like animal stories are more universal than human stories.
yeah.
And if we think about that,
but we're not going to go back to Bambi. We're not going to go back to Bambi.
Okay, should we bring Bambi back into the conversation?
I will give you. Listen,
Wait,
I will give you Lion King #1 if we bring back Bambi.
No, we're not
Instead of
doing
Okay, I will
that.
bring back Bambi if we take out Beauty and the
Yeah.
Beast.
Should we bring
Fuck.
Rescuers
Oh my
back in the
No,
conversation?
you wouldn't. No, you
I would
wouldn't.
never.
Beauty and the Beast obviously deserves to be there, and it's like fucking an amazing film.
Okay, but Bambi 5, Emperor's New Groove 4, Tangled 3, Lion King 1.
No.
what?
No.
I don't know what's happening right now, but I do think
It's such a weird thing.
I'm doing
that
my
we've
best
now
is what's
discovered that Laura loves Bambi.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
didn't
think
realize
it's
that.
so weird that we never knew this
I
about
can't tell.
Laura.
I can't tell if
I
it's, like,
don't
it's just a
love Bambi.
long-running bit that Laura's been saving for this.
Yeah, I did not know you
I
love
don't
Bambi.
love Bambi that much. I think Bambi is an excellent film, and I think that we should have had an old film on the top 5 list. That's where I'm coming
I'm
from.
not disagreeing that maybe we
Yeah,
should have.
yeah,
Like
we
this
should
list
have.
maybe is exactly how it. You know, it's,
But
maybe it's not that
I
interesting.
also think we all watched it recently, and
Bambi?
I like to think that I'm not that like biased. Like I don't know. I think I went into all the movies pretty open-minded, and despite the fact that some were older, like I think the animation in some of the older, as far as a like technical animator and a hand-drawn animator, is more impressive. Like, am I gonna really fight for that? Like, is that the reason you fight for a movie for Best Picture? Because you're like, oh, the hand-drawn is so impressive. And I don't know that that's what makes it, because that's like technical stuff that I'm like, I don't think that makes it the Best Picture, you know? And I don't know, it's hard, because yes, we didn't pick any early films, but they're so dated. They're
There's
so
a lot of,
dated.
like-
They're so dated.
Yeah.
It's hard. And I was looking at them and I was like, man, like all these old ones, it's so hard. I do have some on my Oni bench because I like them, but like they're so over
Yeah,
every
you
time.
can't just pick like I don't know Snow White.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I know, but I'm just being
Nobody
like, it's-
fucking wants to watch Snow White. Like,
I agree.
Nobody wants to watch
agree.
Snow White.
There's a lot of the older movies that are a perfect building block
Yeah.
to what came after. And I think Bambi, if we're going to give it its props, was a building block movie
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
what's to come after. And we can definitely celebrate that. But it can't be a top 5. And we shouldn't even be talking about this.
I agree. I don't know what
Yeah,
you're doing.
we've actually
We should have
And like,
I think
if
we're
I
done.
had 2 kids coming up to me right now, and they were like gonna, if I had my friends and they were all over, and their kids were gonna go over, and I was gonna put a movie on for them in there, I would put The Lion King on for them.
I think we have our list.
Yeah, I
I think
think so, too.
I did not want Lion King to be number 1.
I agree.
Then get on Beauty and the Beast train with me, Brad.
But when Sam first told me that we were going to do this, it was the first movie that popped in my head is like, obviously that's number 1.
Can't wait to
I didn't
open
want
the
that.
jar
I would rather
predictions.
Emperor's New Groove. I love Emperor's New Groove. My
Let's make
personal
it number
list is
4.
very different.
Let's make it number 4.
When did
Atlantis, number 1. Tongue, let's
me-
redo everything.
Guys, this is just how ranks goes.
all right. Let me we do have our list, I'm pretty sure, but I will say when you compare and I know it's not the songs episode, but it's a very pivotal thing of Disney films, their songs, and when you do pit Lion King songs versus Beauty and the Beast songs, I do think that Lion King inches it out.
I
Yes.
disagree.
I agree with Tom.
Inches it out. I
disagree.
like Beauty and the Beast songs are great. They're so good.
Subjective.
Yeah, of course. But Lion
Even
King
I'm
songs
like,
are
that's hard. Yeah.
Lion King songs are just-
Sure, whatever.
Lion King songs make me feel inspired. Because they give me something.
Dude, the live music, it moves me.
It moves you.
But guys, I want adventure.
Yeah, I know that's your favorite.
Say the list.
Yo,
John.
but have you heard the Broadway version of Shadowlands? Because,
so
dude,
good.
the Broadway version is actually better than the movie.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
fucking
It's
amazing.
Also, Be Prepared is a fucking crazy
Oh,
song.
Yo,
be
dude.
prepared
So is Gaston.
though.
Gaston's a great song. Gaston's a
Be
great song.
Prepared is fucking
Yeah,
unreal.
anyways, here's our
Be
list.
Prepared.
Okay.
Not the Idris Elba.
Here's our list. No.
Oh, it's not Idris Elba.
It's,
sorry.
who is it?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5, Emperor's New Groove. Number 4, Tangled. Number 3, Mulan. Number 2, Beauty and the Beast. And number 1, The Lion King.
Yeah.
Holy shit. But you know what? I feel okay about this. I know we ended in a list that you see on a lot of websites, but we've done the work at Disney Dummies. We literally watch all these movies.
Brad
Yeah.
said the websites always pinned Pinocchio.
Pinocchio was number 1 on multiple
No!
websites.
It's
Multiple
the best Disney
websites.
movie?
I googled it after,
Okay,
and
that's crazy
Pinocchio
to
was
me.
number. I know. I was
Not
like,
even on
fuck
the
this
radar.
shit.
It's not even on the radar.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Bambi's better
No.
than Pinocchio.
Yes,
Oh,
I would
100%.
agree. Yes.
Yeah. So you see where I'm coming from?
But this isn't a worse than Pinocchio podcast.
Top 5 movies worse than Pinocchio.
So we,
I think we should do this cup thing.
Yeah. How do you want to do that? Let's just read them.
Okay, I will. Actually, I'll pass them to people, and we'll.
Okay.
Why are there so
these ones
many?
are mine. These ones are mine.
Dude.
Sam's are folded.
Who's this? Is
Mine
this
are the skinny
Okay.
ones.
Can we
Brad, say
do
Brad on
honorable
those.
mentions while
Those are mine,
you're doing this?
Well, this
On your
first.
mentions?
This
We'll
first,
do this first. Okay.
Okay.
Here, Brad, take one.
Oh, sticky.
Man, I don't know if this actually came true or not.
Brad's predictions for tongue. Oh, Aladdin. That's
Okay,
correct.
Great. Good job.
Beauty and the Beast. Maybe if I didn't beat him to it. And this is left field, Brad. Fantasia 2000.
I thought somebody was gonna do Fantasia.
I think I put Brad as Fantasia.
I thought somebody was gonna do Fantasia.
I could see
I
it.
didn't even think about
I
it.
honestly, if
yeah.
that was in the running, I
No.
could see
Wait,
why.
we should put
Right.
back
I
in the
could have
mud.
argued Fantasia up
Yeah.
to the top 5, to be honest.
Here's one that. Did you write this, Laura?
That's mine.
This is just a Brad thing. Brad miraculously convinces everyone that Sword in the Stone should make the list. Hours later, regret sets in.
That was wrong.
Sword in the Stone was pretty high
That
up.
was an
I'm not
incorrect
gonna
prediction.
lie. I don't know. Nobody's signed this.
That's for
but,
me, I think.
All have a lot of
number
lowers.
1, Lion King. Number 2, Beauty and the Beast.
Whoa.
Number 3, Tangled. Dark Horse, Moana. Number 4, Emperor's New Groove.
What?
Dark Horse, Mulan.
What?
Cinderella for number 5. Dark Horse, Bambi.
There it
What
is.
the fuck? Laura, I
told you I knew what the list was gonna
Laura,
be.
what the fuck?
I will say.
That's insane.
I will say.
That's
Impressive.
insane.
For months and months and months and months, she has predicted what this list would be, and she finally did it.
Wow,
so it's very.
that's-
It's a big wonder that
Dude,
this happened.
that's actually fucked up.
So if I had said Cinderella instead of Bambi, would that have stood a chance of making
No,
the top
it wouldn't
5?
have.
No.
It wouldn't have. But it's still fucked up that you even nominated like Emperor's New Groove in there and stuff. So
yeah.
like that's insane.
I
I
didn't
also
realize.
have this one that I assume is written by
Yeah.
you. Tongue says, "Let's get down to business immediately before nominating Mulan." I don't
first
know.
thing
I
that
don't
happened.
know if it wasn't.
The first thing that happened on this episode.
How else would you introduce that?
I don't know. I don't know.
very
I didn't,
first
I
name of
didn't
the night
get
that
to
happened.
it. I didn't
Yeah.
get to it.
I mean,
so
I'll do
to defeat
another
the
one.
Huns.
Oh,
Yeah,
here's
yeah, yeah.
We must
Tongue.
swift as the coursing river.
Tongue's predictions. So Tongue thought that interesting. Tongue thought that I would nominate Beauty and the Beast,
Correct.
Moana, and Tangled. So really close. Oh, here we go. Okay, he thought Sam would nominate Lion King,
correct.
Frozen, and Little
I did
Mermaid.
not. Oh, I did do Little
2 out of 3.
Maybe I do know you, Sam.
And for Brad, Tarzan, Sword in the Stone, and Fantasia.
I thought you were the Fantasia
I
guy.
know. I thought somebody would nominate Fantasia,
Yeah,
but
and
nobody
it would have
did.
been you.
Dude, it seemed like we haven't got Tawny Mensch, but
And I would have said, I thought you would have done the original Fantasia,
Oh.
not the new one, even though I think the new one might be better. I don't know. The first one, there's a lot to
I
it. but-
was so stoned during Verboth that I do not know which I would
Do you
nominate.
remember the
between two.
dinosaur short?
Oh
my
man, Man.
God.
So fucking long.
All I remember is the second one starting, and it also
one
had like
last.
the Sorcerer's
yeah.
Apprentice, and I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't we just watch this? Or is it Tongue?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Tongue's.
I have one more. Okay. So this one is written by
I think Sam.
I
Sam?
have this one too because I took the
Lion
last
King
one.
#1, Sam.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Okay.
I was right.
You
Yeah,
were right.
you were right.
All right, I got.
Wait, he's got one more.
I got Laura Nom's Beauty and the Beast, Moana, Encanto. Nobody nominated Encanto.
I thought you were gonna say
I had Encanto
Encanto.
for you, Sam.
Yeah, so Brad's for Sam were Moana, and Encanto, and Little Mermaid.
That were yours for me?
Yeah.
You didn't think I'd say The Lion King?
I think I had Lion King for somebody else.
Tang Nam's Mulan is what Sam said, which
Yeah.
is obvious.
I thought you would do Encanto though. You fucking love Encanto.
Laura.
Not as much as Lion King.
Did Sam write this?
Oh, that's Brad's picks for me.
Brad said Lion King, Mulan, and Frozen.
Yeah, there you go.
For me?
For you.
Yeah.
You don't know me at all, Brad.
I know.
Well, I
wait,
just
where's
You were
the
the
last
furthest
one?
off.
I think that was it.
No, there's one more.
I've got one. I've got the final
Final one. Let's see.
one. Laura told me I had to do this one last, so I have.
Oh no, it's like a Bambi thing.
Yeah. Laura delivers an impassioned. Laura delivers an impassioned speech in defense of Beauty and the Beast. Others grow weary.
I saw this coming from
Very
Did
accurate.
A mile away.
happen. So
I think you honestly, you blew your impassioned speech for Bambi, and you didn't save enough room for Beauty and the Beast at the end.
I knew that I didn't have a fighting chance with Beauty and the Beast.
Dude,
I love Beauty and the
you
Beast.
did because Beauty and the Beast is amazing, but
Yeah, but you were all like, well, it's unquestionably Lion King.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
thing. And and just to say, because sometimes we gloss it over, I know we kind of talked around why Lion King. Mostly, we said Lion King's good, but we haven't really talked about it
Yeah.
like really quickly. Like,
I did talk about it.
did you? I just think the
I
supporting.
said the mood.
The mood's good. Like all of the characters are good. Rafiki's so good. Timon and Pumbaa, iconic.
songs are good.
Scar, like the villain, amazing. Mufasa dying, one of the most heartfelt moments and like crushing moments of like basically when Simba goes over to his dead father and is like, "Dad," like. It makes me cry.
Honestly, though, like start to finish, I mean, as I don't know, I don't want to pull the Aslam animator card, but start to finish that movie, I love. Like from the second a paw drops into the screen, I feel like you saying you could like talk along to Mulan, like I could tell you like verbatim the script of Lion King. Life's not fair, is it? Like
He's alive?
I can tell
He's
you,
alive.
yeah. I can talk along with that movie. And it's just very good, and I don't really have much else to defend it by that. And the fact that I could watch it that many times to be able to quote it, I think is like in and of itself like a little bit of a thing in its field. So
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a really good like moody movie.
It's amazing. Let's go into honorable mentions.
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
I know
let's
we
do
all
it.
have very similar ones. I just want you to rapid fire all of the ones.
Are
you
we
have.
all in one go each or whatever?
Yeah, let's do one go each.
Okay.
Like around the circle,
We'll
one
go
at a
around
time?
the circle, and you guys can send me your list later. Laura, how about you go first?
Can I give you one more description? Because it was my favorite
You
description
wrote it. You might as well do it.
On October 7th, 2021, the 119th episode of Ranked was released. Does anyone recall the name of that episode?
Not even I. do.
No.
Ranky Roulette. On that episode, Samantha Leggett was asked to nominate an underrated animal for the bottom half of a human, and her nomination was Megara from Hercules. In the words of Sam, whatever she needs to be, she will be. And I don't know about all of you, but I want a woman like that on our list.
Laura, I've never loved you and hated you.
Wait, so is your nom? Wait, what was that?
So that was going to be a backup nom was Hercules.
Hers Hercules?
Yeah.
Okay, which I thought the
Whatever she
Hercules
needs to
is
be,
very
she
close.
will be.
Yes, it honestly
Hercules
was.
is so good. Sam, go ahead. Give me one.
On my list, just one?
Just one. We'll go around.
Just one. Okay. So my one is Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, very close.
Oh, that was going to be my next one.
I almost
yeah.
did that over my my Moana pick, honestly.
Yeah,
When I was in Tung's
it was
mom's-
over my Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I was in Tung's mom's bedroom earlier today, and she has like a giant stack of DVDs. Every single one of them is a Vietnamese film, and then Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, so cute. Yeah. Go ahead, Brad. We'll give me one.
I got Treasure Planet.
of course.
I love Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Dark Horse.
Robin Hood was one of my older ones.
Fox.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
folks.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
Frozen,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Was that the one that you were thinking of nominating instead of Little Mermaid?
No, it was Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, okay.
Ah, that's crazy.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
so
I put Lilo and Stitch above Frozen.
That's nuts.
Okay.
I've got 101 Dalmatians.
Whoa, that's nuts.
That's a very unique style. And that was out of left field for Disney when it came out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, snaps for the spots.
Yeah.
Snaps for the
Yeah,
spots,
yeah.
people, right?
Snaps for
Yeah.
the
You want
spots.
snaps for this because Laura hates this movie, but I love it. Fox and the Hound.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
No, thank
That one
you.
will wreck
I
you.
love it. So
We've
sad.
covered almost my whole list so far. Let me
I have
see.
4 more. I
have a few.
I said Hercules. Mulan,
How have you
Frozen,
not-
Birds and Groove? My whole list. Well, I guess Frozen.
Yeah.
That's the only
No,
one
I said
have.
that.
So your whole list is
Oh,
gone.
okay, yeah, that's my
Wow,
list. Wait,
okay.
hang on. Home on the Range.
So
Jesus Christ.
Encanto wasn't on your list.
I didn't think it would be nominated. No,
But
I
you
think
just
too
even put it as an
recent.
honorable
It's not
mention?
even on your list though.
Oh, so I'm just reading off of my list of like.
All right, sure, yeah,
The 12
sure.
that I
Okay,
thought would
well,
be nominated.
Encanto was on
So
mine.
good.
Encanto.
That is
That's great.
one that like I might have considered nominating,
Yeah,
but it's
dude.
just so
It was really
recent.
good.
It's so new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I
Yeah.
love
It's
Encanto.
impossible. It's so
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
7 foot.
This is very out of character for me, but I'm going to nominate Sword in the Stone
Knew
for
it.
honorable mention.
Yeah.
I love Sword in the Stone.
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
I was
Winnie the
Really
Pooh.
interesting.
love it.
Just kidding.
I love it.
Do you even have any more?
No, I'm done. I'm just making joke
okay.
noms.
I have Princess and the Frog.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Aristocats.
Whoa. That's,
Whoa, Brad.
I know.
yeah.
Except for the Siamese
Yeah, except
part.
for the one.
Do I
Cut that
have
out.
any more? I threw in some just
I
because
have
I was
two
like
more.
just because I have 2 more. Alice in Wonderland was one. Yeah.
And I have Jungle Book.
Oh yes,
Sure,
of
yeah.
course.
I had Rescuers very high
Sure.
up.
Thank
That was the movie that I thought you were going to do instead of Great Mouse.
Honestly,
Rescuers music is very cool.
Rescuers was number 9 on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, fair.
Oliver and Company, but mostly
What should I worry?
that song.
Why should I
That movie's fine, but
Yeah.
that song slaps so
Dude,
hard.
that song slaps so hard. Okay,
Yeah.
so I only have one left, and it's Fantasia.
Uh-huh.
Oh. I only had one left. It's kind of lame, but it's Snow White.
Lame.
Because it's
You
the
said it,
first
Brad.
the
Disney
first one,
movie.
and I had
Honestly, I would watch Snow White over a lot of the Disney movies, though.
Aladdin.
Yeah, there was kind of like a bar where it's like, is it better than Home on the Range? And that's where the
Yeah,
bar
it's
kinda
obviously
everything.
better than Rain.
I'm wishing.
Oh, I hate Snow White.
I'm
I mean, I hate her voice.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this really belongs, but I do like Big Hero 6, but I don't actually
Oh, Big
think
Hero 6 is good, though.
That's a miss.
San Fran,
Right.
Tokyo?
San
San
Francisco.
Francisco.
Sokyo,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, San Francisco.
And of
Fun
course,
time.
Black Culture.
Yeah, and also we were talking about earlier, the movie that came before Tangled was actually Bolt, I'm pretty sure.
Bolt was underrated.
And there
underrated,
there
but-
is a scene with both our dogs in Bolt as well.
Oh yeah, Cap and Bolt playing together.
All right,
Yeah.
that was our event episode of Ranked, as well as Disney Dummies, our first and probably only crossover episode for a while. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Do we have any plugs at home, Laura?
Yeah, I'd like to plug plugs. They're good for keeping water in sinks.
And not the podcast that we do together?
Oh yeah. Sorry, it's getting late. I'd like to plug Disney Dummies, which is a podcast where we talk about Disney movies. This might be the last episode of Disney Dummies for a while, though. So if you're discovering this in the Ranked feed, head on back to the beginning of Disney Dummies. Take a listen to Cinderella or to Snow White, and then maybe skip
Bambi.
ahead to the Bambi episode and tell me what you think. I recommend watching along too. Watch and then listen, and then watch and then listen.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. I think Disney Dummies will persist, I think, in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam?
Same as Laura. I think listen to Disney Dummies, especially if you're listening to this. You definitely want to hear us talk about all these movies before we rank them.
Before we argue.
Before we get really heated about them, why don't you go listen to us talk to them in full detail? So Disney Dummies, 100%. And you know what? Maybe we have more to come, and so you should stay vigilant in the pod cavern in general. So yeah. Definitely keep tuning in, and that's all I'm gonna tell you. No spoilers.
Ooh, no spoilers. Okay. Brad's first ranked episode. Once again.
My first.
For Brad.
Yeah.
Milo, what would you like to plug for the people at home?
I mean, yeah, the two of them said already, but obviously Disney Dummies, if you haven't listened to that. I've also got a show, a little ditty that I animation directed with Jam-Filled Entertainment coming out. It's going to be early 2023, so keep your fingers on Netflix for it, but it's called We Lost Our Human.
Oh no!
You can remind yourself. You can plug it in right now.
Ooh, you can do that on Netflix.
Yeah. You can search for We Lost Our Human. You can put it in for like remind me when it comes out.
Wow, I didn't even know that was a feature.
I don't think there's like an official release date, but I don't know, like March or something, probably like early 2023. But yeah, animation directed that. So it'd be awesome if everybody checked it out.
Adventure?
It's a choose your own adventure.
What?
It's like a feature length.
Fun.
It's not like the other
Reminder
choose your own adventures.
Sure.
It's very much like it doesn't reset you. It just like no matter what choice you take, you continue on no matter what. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's fun.
Bandersnatch.
Yeah, early on you choose cat or dog, what you want to do.
Okay,
Dog.
yeah.
I think it's really cool, and I'm excited for people to check it out. So yeah, when it comes out, set your stations to.
I already
We
set
Lost
my
Our
reminder.
Human.
Set your stations to
Yeah,
Brad.
check it out. Let me know what you think when it comes out.
I love
Great.
it. I love it. And for myself, you can find the rest of the shows in the Pod Cavern at www.podcavern.com. Check out all the shows there. Check out Disney Dummies, of course. And that's it for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed. Let's get out of here. Hakuna Matata.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's all problem free.
Well, I went way too high in the key.
I guess that's how we end episodes. Thanks for listening, everyone.